Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Saturday, May 3rd, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got some Saturday evening baseball, the Seattle Mariners versus the Texas Rangers. First pitch is going to be here in about 5 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get settled in for some Saturday night baseball. Let's get it, baby. And on the thumb, on the left, our superstar, Julio Rodriguez. Great to see him with that 2-run jack. Hopefully he can stay in a nice rhythm and groove because we're going to need him moving forward. And on the right, fresh off the injury, back in the lineup, Corey Seager. Let's go Mariners. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners, the hottest team in baseball. Let's get it. Batting first and leading off, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, catching today for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Solo shot and a grand salami. He is the best catcher in baseball, leading the whole major leagues in homers. I can't wait to see what he's got in tail here tonight. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Batting fifth, DHing for Seattle, Mitch Garver. Batting sixth, playing first base, Donovan Solano. And it's true, it may not be working, but at least he's starting to get a few base hits in the last few games. And anything that is positive for the Mariners, we'll take it. Batting seventh, playing third base, coming up with a miraculous catch last night. What a great action shot. Big Ben Williamson. Batting eighth, playing second base, Leo Rivas. And batting ninth, playing right field this afternoon, Samad Taylor. And on the mound for the Mariners, La Piedra, 3-2 record with an ERA of 3.62, looking like the Luis Castillo in 2022 in Julio's rookie year when we brought him over from the Reds. Luis Castillo. And again, we have Brian Wu as our 1, Castillo as our 2, and we have Bryce Miller, Logan Evans, as well as Emerson Hancock. We need a good outing. Now, we got a 1-hitter out of Brian Wu yesterday. I don't anticipate that today. But again, the magic number will be 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. But the way that the Mariners have been playing as of late, we might put up 5, we might put up 6, we might put up 8, we might put up 10. And you never know how high the runs could go. But hopefully we can get a good outing on the bump about our guy, Luis Castillo. Let's get it, baby. Be electric. And now let's get into the starting lineups for the home Texas Rangers. Leading off for the Rangers at shortstop, Josh Smith. Batting second, playing left field, Wyatt Langford. Batting third, DHing today for Texas, Corey Seager. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, first baseman, Jock Peterson. Batting fifth for the Rangers, second baseman, Marcus Semien. Batting sixth, catching today for the Rangers, Jonah Heim. Batting seventh, playing right field, Adolis Garcia. Batting eighth, playing third base, Josh Young. And batting ninth, playing center field, Dustin Harris. And on the mound for the Rangers with a 2-1 record, an ERA of 3.79, Patrick Corbin. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. And I appreciate Marcos getting us started off on a good note before the stream even started. Obviously had a fantastic birthday yesterday. Brian Wu with the one hitter. And not only on top of that, winning 13-1. Now, again, if we didn't end up having Troy Taylor give up that homer in the ninth, it would have been 13-0. And we were only one hit away from a no-hitter. So there's a couple things, that could have made it the perfect day. A no-hitter and a 13-0, victory. But hell, a one-hitter and a 13-1 victory. Where we've actually swept the Rangers 3 games at home, and we're going to try to do the same thing here in Texas. Let's go, baby. Shout out to Marcos. Appreciate you. We're going to be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall once we hit the algorithm, and 100 in the donos. We're already 20% of the way there. Marcos with a 20, stacks on stacks. Racks on racks with a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Thank you for showing me some love for the birthday. And again, hopefully we can end up getting another dub here today. Let's get it, baby. And I am ready. Met up with my best friend, Justin, today. We went to the park that I grew up at. We shot some hoops, for about an hour and talked, which was really good since we only usually meet up about once a month. We exchanged gifts, since our birthdays are a few days apart. And since he ended up going to the Mariner game, there was a few things that they did for, giveaways, like, the captain's cap. Obviously, I know he was going to keep that for himself. They had a little miniature Maurice the Moose, which I ended up getting, as well as one of these collectible beer cups. But the thing that I am the most excited about is the Trident. And again, as soon as I ended up seeing that they were available throughout the Seattle Mariner organization, I was like, bro, you got to be able to find the vendor that has it at the stadium. And luckily he was able to find it, and we're going to be able to rock the Trident. Now, obviously we got the chain, we got the do-rag, we got the bobblehead, but nothing is going to come close to this Trident. And the thing is I was hoping that, when you have a green screen, a lot of times if you show something that's green or yellow, it gets distorted, based on the color, but most of the time it's green. But with this being yellow, no distortion whatsoever. I'm super excited, and can't wait to be able to use it once we end up getting some homers here today. And again, we had a Julio 2-run blast, a Cal Raleigh solo blast, and also a Cal Raleigh big dumper grand salami. We'll see if we can get some of those things to happen here again today. Let's go. Cool kid in the building. What's good? And again, we're going to be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour. And again, if you can smash that like button early, it'll help us get into the algorithm, which will allow us to get recommended by YouTube. And then we'll be able to get a few more people here into the room. So again, it takes 1 second to do your boy a solid and smash that like button early. And again, the faster that we can get to 20, the faster we can hit that algorithm. We're at 7 right now. Let's see if we can get to 20 within the first hour, and then 30 to 50 overall. Let's go, baby. First off for the Mariners is going to be J.P. Crawford. JP in play. Back. See ya! Wow, I did not think I was going to have to use the Trident this soon. Let's go, baby. 1-0 Mariners, just like that. First pitch to J.P. Crawford, and this thing is sweet. Got the little Mariner logo there. Let's go. Hell yeah, baby. I am stoked. J.P. Crawford right out of the gates. Solo dinger, 1-0 Mariners. Let's go, baby. And obviously, Julio is going to be swinging at a first pitch strike, so we'll see what happens here. Let's go. Daniel in the building. What's good? First pitch to Julio. Little dribbler. Throw to first. Got him. Everyone being overly aggressive on those first pitch strikes. Hey, JP, first pitch, he goes yard. Trident gets used on the first pitch. And maybe it's a sign from the sports gods. Little dribbler by Julio, he's out. Next up, a guy that had 2 homers, a solo dinger, and a grand salami. Catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. First pitch, high and away. 1-0 count to Cal Raleigh. Let's go, baby. Let's go. And I'm telling you, the Trident is going to be one of those things that will be a very popular item. And it's pretty good quality. I figured, it was going to run $30 to $40. It was only $22, but I can honestly say I would pay $50 for it. It's kind of it's not wood. It's kind of like a harder, metal, plastic metal, but it's pretty dope. I like it. Pitch is low and at the knees with a strike looking. 1 ball and 2 strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh, and we already got to use the Trident on the first pitch of the game. And again, maybe it's a sign from the sports gods. They knew I had it, and they didn't want to wait. They wanted to see it right away. Pitch is low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes for the Mariners going against the Rangers. Let's go. In play. Oh, baby. Let's go. A nice double there by big dumper Cal Raleigh. Let's go. Man, we are just hitting. And again, the torpedo bats, they are going wild. Nice double by big dumper Cal Raleigh into left field. Crushed the fuck out of that baseball in between the gap of the left fielder and the center fielder. Next up, Randy Arozarena, and Cal didn't even really need to slide into second. We'll take that. Let's go. First pitch is outside. 1-0 count from Patrick Corbin to Randy Arozarena. Let's go, baby. We got all the good luck charms here, all the Mariner merch, baby. But I can honestly say, out of all of the props and little things that you can get, the Trident is one of the coolest that I've ever got. It's very awesome. And it's better quality than I was thinking it was going to be. Seeing the picture is one thing, but having it in your hand is completely different. Pitch right down the middle, fouled off by Arozarena. 1 ball and 1 strike from Corbin to Randy. JP Crawford with the first pitch homer to get us off to a good foot and a good note right out of the gates. Wow, that would have been a homer by Randy if it would have stayed fair. It's incredible. Let me tell you. And again, the only thing that I feared is that it was going to get distorted, on the green screen, through the backgrounds. But normally that's when you have something that's dark green or green apple or any shade of green. And depending on the yellow, some yellows will be a little distorted and others are okay. I guess it really just depends on, your lighting and the green screen itself. So top of the first, big dumper Cal Raleigh at second base with a double. JP Crawford with a solo dinger. First pitch right out of the game. And we got a 1-1 count here from Corbin to Randy Arozarena. And Randy with a broken bat. And I know he's using the torpedo bat. I'm not sure on every at-bat, but I know with Randy and Cal, those were the main guys that were kind of interested in it. And again, seems like it's really working out for Cal Raleigh. Maybe not for Randy as much, but I don't really know if he is committed to using it for every at-bat like Cal is. But so far, so good. 2-1 pitch, takes a strike swinging right down the pipe. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Corbin to Randy Arozarena. Pitch is low and at the knees there from Corbin to Randy Arozarena. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Randy. It'd be great for you to start getting back into the groove of things. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Randy. Judah in the building. What's good? In play. And Randy Arozarena reached to first on an infield single to second, Cal Raleigh to third. What a great start. And again, the Seattle Mariners are the best team in baseball. We are hot, 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 baby. Let's go. I never thought we would turn into a top 3, top 4 hitting team overall in the league after being dead last for years. But that's where we're at. Amazing. Nice job by Randy. Next up, DHing today for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. Judah, we scored on the first pitch. J.P. Crawford went yard, and I got my trident for my best friend today. So that'll be a nice prop. Obviously I got the do-rag, I got the chain, I got the Griffey Jr. bobble. I got another Ichiro figure that, I ended up getting out of the collection, for part of the desk and the good luck charm, but definitely the trident is a very cool prop for sure. So strike looking there with the slider. And now we have 2 balls back to back, pretty much in that same location right outside the line. 2 balls and 1 strike from Corbin to Garver. Runners on the corners at first and third with 1 out. And it's just kind of ironic, as soon as I get it from my buddy for a gift, first pitch of the game, and I get to use it. It's like the sports gods wanted it, and I appreciate it. Takes a strike looking in the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Corbin to Garver. Let's go, Mitch. Pitch is inside, tried to jam Garver. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Patrick Corbin to Mitch Garver. Let's go, baby. And Patrick Corbin, 2-1 record with an ERA of 3.79. So, we definitely can respect, any pitcher that we go against, but the way that we've been hitting, really we don't fear anybody, regardless if it ends up being Skeens or Scooball, or Crochet. We already know it's going to be tough against some of those guys, but even lower names that have good win-loss percentages and low ERAs, we've been finding ways to get it done. And Mitch Garver forcing a walk, baby. I love that. Pitches outside. Here we go. Bases loaded. You love it. And you know what happens when we get bases loaded? Obviously, grand salamis like yesterday. Next up, a guy that, it hasn't been working, but again, as of late, he's been able to get some hits. We don't assume that he can get a grand slam, but if he can get walked and we can get a freebie, or if he gets hit by a pitch or even an RBI single, I think any Mariner fan would be ecstatic, since Solano has been our worst player as far, as everyday players or, every other day players. Trent Thornton is probably our worst player on the team. Donovan Solano was our worst, but he at least has been able to produce as of late. And you could say the same thing from Thornton, but Thornton has given up like 5 homers in the first, 20 games, and he should be in AAA. And you could probably say the same thing about Donovan Solano. They could send him down to AAA, right? And bring up, obviously, Tyler Locklear, who we saw a little bit last year in 2024. But at least Solano, starting off the year 4 for 40, has been able to get a few hits in the last 3 games. And hopefully it'll continue here. Even if we can get a freebie and a walk, we'll take it. First pitch, low and out the knees with a slider. 78 miles an hour by Patrick Corbin. 1-0 count. Let's go, baby. Yeah, and if I had to take a prediction, I will assume that Dan Wilson will be the manager of the All-Star team in the American League this year. And I don't know if Polo is going to qualify because he might not have enough at-bats, but hopefully the fan vote or the managers, the coaches, can vote him in, because Polo has been playing just as good as anybody in the league besides Aaron Judge. Those guys have been playing the best. And Cal Raleigh and Andres Munoz are getting in, so we could have 3 All-Stars on the team. Solano grounded out into the double play, and unfortunately that's what happens. And again, we're not really too worried about it. Now, if this was in years past, if we ended up getting bases loaded, nobody out, and you end up getting nothing, it's devastating, because you're the worst hitting team in baseball and you strike out the most. We were the number 1 strikeout team, but now if we end up getting bases loaded with no outs, 1 out, 2 outs, and we don't get anything, who cares? It doesn't matter. We already know that the next inning, that'll be a good sign that at least we got on base. Yeah, we didn't get him to come home besides the J.P. Crawford solo dinger, but it's not as bad as it was, when you're the worst hitting team in baseball and you're the number one strikeout team, because you only have limited chances for that to happen. But when you're a top 3, hitting team in baseball, you can, have those situations happen even a couple times a game, and it's not going to hurt you. And again, at least we ended up getting the first pitch of the game right down the pipe. J.P. Crawford homer to right, 369 feet, and we have a 1-0 lead. Now, we could have, been up 2-0, 3-0, 4-0 in this first inning, but again, you have to be patient, and not everything is going to come as fast as you want. And again, Solano, this is really the only Mariner photo that I was able to find, and again, it's not working. That's true, but he has been playing better as of late, so we got to do what we got to do to support him. Coming up on the mound here in the bottom of the first with a 3-2 record, 3.62 ERA, La Piedra, Luis Castillo. And right now he's our second best pitcher behind Brian Wu, who last night threw for a 1-hitter, and we won 13-1. If Troy Taylor didn't give up the homer in the ninth, we would have been up 13-0. So we were one pitch, one hit away, from having maybe a no-hitter, depending on how far, Wu would have been able to go. And then obviously Taylor, giving up that home run hasn't looked as good as he was last year. So they sent him down. And Matt Brash, we've been waiting on him all year, like George Kirby, one of our best guys in the pen. And he will be playing tonight as Troy Taylor got sent down after he gave up that homer in the ninth last night to AAA. Leading off for the Rangers, shortstop Josh Smith. First pitch right down the middle, taking a strike looking, 0-1 count on that fastball. Let's go. 0-1 pitch, down the pipe, fouled off, behind in the count 0-2. On deck is Wyatt Langford, and batting third, DHing, coming off the injury, Corey Seager. Let's go Mariners. Lauren in the building. What's good? In play. And flied out to center. No fly zone. How you doing, Lauren? I got the trident. My buddy got it for me. So now for every home run, coolest prop, that they've made and had available. Super stoked about it. First pitch inside to Wyatt Langford. Tries to jam the hitter high and tight inside, 1-0 count. Let's go. One 0 pitch, takes a strike looking. In the zone, four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out here in the bottom of the first with a Mariner 1-0 lead with a J.P. Crawford solo dinger on the first pitch of the game. In play, and Langford single to right. Nice base knock by Wyatt Langford. Yeah, they sell them at the stadium. They might be selling them on the Mariners team store online, but I know the Mariners did a post on it. So as soon as I saw the video and the pictures of it, when my buddy went to that matchup, against the Marlins, I was like, you got to look in the stadium. They're not going to have it on every vendor, but you got to find me one. And again, I would have paid, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks for one. And they're not even that expensive. They're only like 22 bucks at the stadium. But after having it in my hand and the quality of it, I would easily pay 50 bucks for it. If I had to pay that, it wouldn't bother me. So next up is Corey Seager. First pitch is a foot off the plate. 1-0 count with the four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour from Luis Castillo La Piedra. 1-0 pitch, 10 feet off the plate, 2-0 count to Corey Seager. Come on, Luis. Settle in, baby. We need you. Wyatt Langford with a single. Corey Seager missing yesterday's game and being out for a few days, recovering from an injury, back in the lineup, but only DHing. Pitch outside again by Castillo, 3-0 count. Come on now. Yeah. I mean, there's probably going to be other custom tridents, like that are bigger, some probably made of wood, others of hard metal. But this one is, through the Mariners, and it actually has the Mariner logo on it. If you look there, you can see the Mariner logo right there in the middle. Pitch is fouled off. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Seager. I mean, even though the younger generation may not understand what the NBA was in the 80s and 90s, based on, LeBron isn't going to be everyone's favorite, but he deserves to be, in the top 10. Obviously it's going to be, if you're looking at scoring and longevity of career, obviously he's not as clutch as Jordan or Kobe, and he never will be. And obviously jump team to team and whatnot. But again, he was a very good all-around player, and you could argue he might be one of the best all-around players the league has ever seen. But if it was between me personally, if I had a choice between LeBron or Larry Bird, I would take Larry Bird. But again, LeBron, is a good player, but doesn't really, have that clutchness, as Jordan and Kobe. But, Dr. J was great, but I mean, LeBron is too good to not be in the top 10. And I think most people would have LeBron in the top 5 conversation, but, everyone is, entitled to their own opinion, because some guys, we never even got a chance to see, because we weren't alive. We never got to see Wilt Chamberlain or Bill Russell, or some of us with, maybe at the end of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So, I mean, there's many, many players, and, point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. So, but I don't think I would, I wouldn't put not LeBron in the top 10, even if you hate him, he's still a top 10 all time. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and takes a strike swing and got him. Wow. To have a 3-0 count on Seager and then be able to work that into a punch out. Nice job by Luis Castillo. Way to bring that electricity, baby. Down goes Seager. We love that. Nice job, Luis. Strike him out, throw him out. I like that. Seager trying to steal, or Wyatt Langford trying to steal and Seager striking out. Let's go. Hell yeah. That's what happens. Cal Raleigh, you're going to run on him, JP with the tag, and then we end up getting 2 outs in a matter of 3 seconds. I love it. Nice job. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Top of the second, 1-0 lead with a J.P. Crawford first pitch of the game, solo dinger, 1-0 Mariners. Let's go. Next up for the Mariners, our third baseman for the foreseeable future, Big Ben Williamson. And I love him because he can play defense like he did last night, making an incredible catch to make sure Brian Wu had the one hitter. And not only that, very patient in the box. He's going to end up being a top fan favorite for years to come. Batting second in the 8-hole, second baseman Leo Rivas. And batting third, playing right field tonight in the 9-hole, Samad Taylor. Let's go Mariners. Patrick Corbin, 2-1 record with a 3.79 ERA on the mound. Let's go, baby. Shut up. Did you? JT Realmuto. It's hard getting home run balls or foul balls, or even when they throw baseballs into the crowd after the inning ends. I've had extremely good luck. I got 2 AAA baseballs when I was 10, and I've gotten 3 Major League baseballs in 9 games. So I would say I got a pretty good percentage. Congratulations to you. Pitches inside from Corbin to Williamson. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Inside. 2-0 count. 2-0 pitch. Inside. 3-0 count. What's going on here? 3-0 pitch. In there for a strike looking with the sinker. 3 balls and 1 strike from Corbin to Williamson. 3-1 pitch. Fouled off. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Corbin to Big Ben Williamson. And I'll tell you, there's nothing like getting a baseball as far as a souvenir at a game. It's a life-changing experience. It really is. Anytime you end up getting a ball, it's not like you're going to get an NFL football unless you're sitting in the front row, and like Cam Newton was playing and he hands it to you as Williamson grounds out to first, 1 away. And it's not like you're going to be able to take an NBA basketball home. So really, your best chances are going to an NHL game and getting a puck, which is extremely tough, but still possible if it gets deflected into the crowd or if a player throws one to you, over the glass. But obviously, there's foul balls, home run balls, and opportunities, but it definitely isn't easy. Yeah, that'll be sweet if he actually signs it for you. Then you got to get yourself one of those cases for it. Yeah, but I've been extremely lucky with mine. Kike Hernandez, Julio Rodriguez foul ball in his rookie year, and Aaron Judge ball, when he hit his 62 home runs a couple years ago in 2022. So, pretty good. Now I just want a Skeens Cal Raleigh ball when we go on the 4th of July. Hopefully Skeens will be pitching. First pitch to Leo Rivas, fouled off in the zone, 0-1 count. Top of the second with 1 out, 1-0 Mariners with a J.P. Crawford solo dinger, first pitch of the game. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Corbin to Rivas. Well, now you're going to be a super fan of JT now. Did you catch it with a mitt? Did you catch it with your bare hand? Or did it hit like the bleachers and you had to scrap for it? 1-1 pitch, fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Corbin to Rivas. 1-2 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Corbin to Rivas. Let's go, Leo. Rivas in the box. Patrick Corbin on the mound. In play. And Rivas singled to center. Got great baseball IQ, baby. Nice job, Leo. Next up, right fielder, Samad Taylor. And I know I might not be the only one that thinks this, but Leo Rivas should be playing every day. Just like Dylan Moore before he got hurt. Both of those guys have proven that they're everyday players, and they're very clutch. And they should be able to get more playing time. .500 on base. Let's go. First pitch from Corbin to Samad Taylor, high and away with the sinker, 1-0 count. Hell yeah, brother. You should send me a photo of it once you get it all squared away on socials. Nothing like getting the ball, man. Takes your fandom up to a whole nother level. Throw to first. The Rivas to keep him there. Safe. Top of the second, 1-0 Mariners. Runner at first with a little single by Leo Rivas. Solo dinger on the first pitch of the game by J.P. Crawford. Seems like that's becoming a regular occurrence where we can get home runs on the first pitch of the game. And bunt attempt. And Samad Taylor does not have the speed to run it out, but we move the runner over 2 away. Next up, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. First pitch outside with the slider, 1-0 count. One 0 pitch, takes a strike looking with the sinker, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Corbin to Crawford. Let's go, JP. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking, high in the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Patrick Corbin to JP Crawford. Come on, JP. Let's go, Crawdaddy. 1-2 pitch, fouled off with the slider, low and away. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs with a runner at second. Let's see if JP can get an RBI here. And in play. And JP Crawford lined out to left, and that is the end of the top of the second inning. It's all right, Mariners. At least we ended up getting a solo dinger to give us that 1-0 lead. Let's see who's up next here for the Rangers in the bottom of the second. Next up for the Rangers, first baseman in the 4-hole, Jock Peterson. Batting second in the 5-hole, second baseman Marcus Semien. And batting third in the 6-hole, catcher Jonah Heim. Heck yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, proud father moment for his son, for sure. Let's take a look at both pitchers up to this point, obviously with this 1-0 game. So Castillo, 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 1 K, 15 pitches with 11 strikes, ERA of 3.51. And then obviously with Patrick Corbin coming into the game with a 2-1 record, ERA of 3.79, 2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, the solo dinger by JP, 1 walk, no Ks, 39 pitches, 22 strikes, ERA up to 3.86. Next up for the Rangers, first baseman Jock Peterson. Let's go, Mariners. First pitch, outside on the line, fouled off by Peterson, 0-1 count. Hey, nothing better than that, man. Free tickets, right? Didn't even have to pay for them. Then you end up getting a home run ball. Exciting day. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Seattle. In play on the 0-1 pitch and grounded out to first, 1 away. Next up, second baseman Marcus Semien. Let's go, La Piedra. Mariners MLB ranks since April 9th, since about a month ago. 15-4 record, number 1. 128 runs, number 1. 35 homers, number 1. 275 average, number one. 367 OBP, number one. 850 OPS, number one. So literally the Mariners are number one in every fucking category, and I hope it doesn't stop anytime soon. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Castillo to Simeon. Let's go, baby. In play on the 1-2 pitch. And popped out to right. No, not today. 2 away. Down goes Jock. Down goes Marcus Simeon. Next up, catcher, Jonah Heim. Sweet photo. You don't see HD 4K catcher photos that nice that often. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Mariners. Heim crushes that one foul, behind in the count now 0-2. Sinker fouled off. Count remains no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with nobody on in the bottom of the second, 1-0 Mariners. Pitches outside, crushes that one foul. 3 consecutive foul balls by Jonah Heim, working the count. Pitch 10 feet off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Castillo to Heim. Yeah, Brash is there. Like I said, he was there in the bullpen yesterday, but they wanted to wait till today for the roster spot. And they sent down Troy Taylor after him giving up the home run in the 9th inning. So Brash, more than likely, we will see him today. And we may even see him tomorrow. So he's on the roster. He's sitting there in the pen. And again, we've been waiting all year for him. But again, anytime a guy has Tommy John, sometimes it takes a while for them to get going. And now we just have to wait for George Kirby to come back, which, we'll probably have to wait another 2 to 3 weeks. They're not going to rush him. But Brash is in the building. There we go. Got him. All right, end of the second inning, 1-0 Mariners. Down goes Jonah Heim. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, center fielder 0 for 1. Had a 2-run jack yesterday. Can we do it again? Trident's up, Julio Rodriguez. Batting second with a solo dinger yesterday, a grand salami yesterday, and a double today. Catcher, big dumper, the best catcher in baseball, leading MLB in homers, Cal Raleigh. Put some respect on his name. And batting third, left fielder, 1 for 1, Randy Arozarena. But hopefully Dan Wilson will end up being the manager of the American League, which I predict he will be. And we can get Polo in the game, even if he doesn't have enough at-bats to qualify. I mean, he's been the best player on the team. He should make the All-Star team. Same thing with Andres Munoz, who's been untouchable, as well as Cal Raleigh being the best catcher in baseball. So I'm not sure if there's really anyone else that would be deserving. Those are really the 3 guys that are the most deserving. And we have a lot of role players that have played well. But if we can get Andres Munoz, right, on top of Jorge Polanco and Cal Raleigh, obviously it kind of seems weird that we don't have like a Logan Gilbert, but since he's injured, you're not going to see him. But unless somehow, some way, Brian Wu makes it also. But if we get Brian Wu to make the All-Star team on top of Jorge Polanco, Cal Raleigh, and Andres Munoz, and Dan Wilson ends up being the manager, you ain't going to hear any complaints from me. But we'll have to see how many more wins Wu will have. But He's been wheeling and dealing. End of the second inning, 1-0 Mariners. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Julio. Let me bust out the trident again. We can be twins. Let's get it, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We only need 4 more to hit 20, and then we get into the algorithm. We're at 16 right now, so if you could do that for your boy, it would be greatly appreciated. And once we get to 20, we can get into the algorithm. Let's go, baby. First pitch, fouled off with the sinker, 0-1 count. And we're at 20, 80 to go on the Dono train. Got Jay Buhner there in the commentary booth, which I love. Brash, we can't wait for you, baby. In play on the cutter. And Julio grounds out to the shortstop, throw to first. Got him. 1 away. Down goes Julio Rodriguez. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. God bless the torpedo bat. First pitch. Trying to jam him inside from the right-hand side. Fouled off. 0-1 count. It's going to be a little bit harder for Cal to hit homers from the right side compared to the left since he is a switch hitter. But, you know, again, he's not only the best catcher in the Seattle Mariner organization already within the first, 3 to 4 years, but if I had to put money on it, as long as Cal doesn't have any major injuries, he's going to end up being a Hall of Famer, if he keeps on this trajectory. And the crazy thing is, he may end up leading the league in homers with 40 to 50 homers from being a catcher, and that's not something that you typically see. We've seen, guys that have been pretty good at the position, like Buster Posey for the Giants, for them winning, every other year for, that 6-year run where they had the 3 championships, guys like Pudge Rodriguez, but we haven't seen a guy like Cal Raleigh in quite some time. And it's not only his power for hitting home runs and being a switch hitter, but really having the leadership to make sure that all of the pitchers don't lose their confidence. And he calls a game better than any catcher in the game. Now, we know Will Smith, JT Realmuto, Adley Rutschman, Salvador Perez are all good catchers as well. And I would say Will Smith in the National League has probably been the best catcher on that side. But no one's hitting home runs at the rate as Cal Raleigh, the big dumper. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Patrick Corbin to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Yeah, I mean, if we're going even further back, yeah, like a Mike Piazza. But it's not often that you're getting, catchers that are doing what Cal is doing. But that might be probably the closest comparison, based off body shape and body size, is that, maybe Cal is the modern day Mike Piazza, maybe better. It's going to be interesting to see, how it all plays out. But, to see Aaron Judge's name below Cal Raleigh, he's got 12 homers. Aaron Judge has got 11. Eugenio Suarez, the former Mariner, now Diamondback, with 10, but he had 4 in one game a couple days ago. And then we got Kyle Schwarber joining the team, and he's got double digits and got 10 as well. Pitch fouled off. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Corbin to Raleigh. And everyone was just thinking that, as soon as Julio came up, he's going to be Ken Griffey Jr. 2.0, but he definitely hasn't lived up to that, superstar status yet. But that's okay. Hopefully that he'll be able to find his groove. But there's a few other players that will probably have a better chance to go, maybe deeper, in their careers as far as like accolades and awards. But if we can just get Julio to be the Julio that we need him to be, then things could be really special. But even if he ends up not being, what we expected, he could still end up being a pretty good player, just maybe not an all-star or Hall of Fame player. And again, if we have other guys like Polo, Cal Raleigh, Andres Munoz, everything else is kind of coming together. Pitches inside, takes a strike swinging with the sinker. Got him. Nice pitch by Patrick Corbin. Nice punch out. for Patrick to Cal Raleigh, which is rare. Down goes Big Dumper. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Top of the third, 1-0 Mariners. 2 outs, Randy in the box, and J.P. Crawford with a solo dinger on the first pitch of the game. First pitch is low and away, 1-0 count from Corbin to Arozarena. Yeah, don't want to get beat up, Again, certain fan bases, when they get drunk, you never know what could happen, and you don't want to, have a situation, where, not only do you get, either beat up at the game or when you're in the parking lot, if you're wearing the gear. Obviously, there's been some pretty brutal fights between the Giants and the Dodgers where fans end up going into the hospital or fucking in a coma because things get a little out of control. And down goes Randy Arozarena. All right, middle of the third inning. We're done there. Let's go to the next batters here for the Texas Rangers. And Randy flies out to center. Next up, leading off in the 7 hole, which is pretty rare. You don't really see this player bat this low in the order. Maybe they should do that to Julio. Batting in the 7 hole, right fielder Adolis Garcia. Batting second, third baseman Josh Young. And batting third in the 9 hole, center fielder Dustin Harris. Let's go Mariners. Yeah, well, Jorge Posada. Yeah, and plus, things can get bad when the own fan base is fighting with each other. Yeah, you can only imagine if you end up being a fan of the rival, the number one rival of them, then they're going to have even more hatred come out. And I imagine, not every Yankee fan is going to be obnoxious or a terrible human being, but anytime you end up mixing liquor or beer and baseball or any sporting event, depending on their personality, not every drunk is a happy drunk. There definitely are confrontational drunks. And just like the guy that fell off the railing, you saw that, Judah, right? Where he was drunk and it looked like he forcefully, just kind of leaped. And then he flipped over the railing and they landed on his head and went to the hospital. As far as I know, he didn't die, but he's in critical condition. But he had like a 20-foot drop. And that's a little scary. So. Got this amazing McFarlane Ichiro that I figured I would debut as well. So this Ichiro is from 2008, and what makes this Ichiro so dope is that the baseball has a little peg in it, and the peg actually goes into the bat to make it look like he's getting a base knock. But I love me, the artistry of McFarlane's, and then those little subtle details, like having a miniature baseball with a peg in it that you can actually push into the bat to make it more realistic. I mean, I'm an attention to detail kind of person, no matter what it is. And especially with like my memorabilia and my toys, I always look for those like extra things. And one of the gifts that I ended up giving to my best friend Justin, since Ichiro is going to be the first full Japanese player born to be in the Hall of Fame, I ended up giving him a Ichiro Suzuki McFarlane Series 1, the very first one that ever came out back in 2001 when Todd McFarlane, the artistry and the artist for Spawn Comics, as well as many other things. Again, pretty cool piece. And with that, nice little bass single there, I see you. Next up is Dustin Harris. But the first edition of Ichiro, it actually comes with removable stunner shades that can go on and off the figurine. And again, I just love little, subtle details, to whatever it may be, with cards and magazines, memorabilia, toys. I'm always looking for those extra kind of oddball things that come with it. And gave him that. Gave him an Ichiro rookie card, PSA 9, and then a couple old school Blazer glasses from when we won the championship in '77, an RC Cola Maurice Lucas, and then another one based off the Oregonian when the Blazers won the championship, and it has that on a glass back from 1977. So I know he's probably pretty happy about those. 3-0 count from Castillo to Harris. And a nice base knock for a single by Josh Young at the previous at-bat. Dustin Harris in the box. Hopefully Castillo can get a double play here. Come on, Luis. Takes a strike, looking right down the pipe. 3 balls and 1 strike. And 1 out with a runner at first. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Mariners. Yeah, I did see, a couple social media posts, too, about people that were in the section with him and said that, yeah, he was heavily drinking. And, some people thought that he was, like, trying to end his life and he was just, like, jumping over the railing. But, he was just drunk and then jumped up, got overly excited, went over the railing, even though when you watch it, it looks like he does it on purpose, but it wasn't, and lands 20 feet on his head. Prayers up to him. Hopefully he's okay. Four-seam fastball on the line, fouled off. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from La Piedra, Luis Castillo to Dustin Harris. Throw to first, safe. Trying to keep the runner in check. Josh Young, don't get any ideas. And that is a walk. Come on, Castillo. Now we got runners at first and second with 1 out. We got to be careful here. Come on, Luis. Now we're back at the top of the order, shortstop Josh Smith. Come on, the Mariners. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Let's see if we can get to that 20 number if we're not there already. And we're at 20 on the dono train, 80 to go. And we're 1 like away from 20. So if you are in the room and you haven't smashed that like button yet, do your boy a solid. We're 1 like away from hitting the number. And we're just about to hit that 1 hour mark. So that would be great if we can get that one person to smash that like button. Let's go, baby. First pitch from Castillo to Smith, outside, about a foot off the plate, 1-0 count. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Mariners. Solo dinger by J.P. Crawford on the first pitch of the game. And again, it started off a little slow yesterday as well until we had that, 7-run, 4th inning or whatever it was at that time period. It took us a few innings to go and get, to that point. So at any given moment, we could explode, but so could the Rangers. Pitch is low and away. 3-0 count from Castillo to Smith. And if Castillo isn't careful here, the game is going to get out of hand real quick. Bottom of the third, runners at first and second with 1 out. And he's going to probably walk Smith unless we get lucky here. Bases loaded with 1 out, not good. Pitch right down the middle, fouled off. 3 balls and 1 strike from Castillo to Jonah Heim. I normally don't bust out the Mariner Moose until we get a little bit deeper in the game, if we're like tied or we're losing. But man, this is a situation early where the game could get out of hand. Sinker, about 5 feet off the plate. I don't know how that's called a strike. Should have been a walk. But they call it 3 balls, 2 strikes. Terrible call by the ump there. But I got my miniature moose here on the desk in front of me with a collectible Mariner beer can collectible. Beer cup. Fouled off. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Smith. Bottom of the third, runners at first and second, 1-0 Mariners. And we got a full count here to Josh Smith. Got to get him out. I mean, obviously, best case scenario here if we could get a double play to get out of this inning, but yeah, but umps are generally terrible, most of the time. It's pretty rare where you see, an ump call a fair game for both teams. Usually there'll be some one-sidedness, and there's certain guys that would, have a little favoritism like Angel Hernandez. It's like some guys, if you look at them or talk to them, then they go against you the rest of the game or maybe even the rest of your career. So, it's not supposed to be like that, but we know not every ump is honest. In play. And fielder's choice to second. Harris out at second, Young to third, 2 away with runners on the corner. Yeah, but again, when it's a 3-0 count and, you're a foot or 2 foot off the plate, even if Cal frames it, you have to be honest. Just because we end up getting the benefit of the doubt doesn't mean that it's fair, and we want to make sure it's fair on both sides. And we know sometimes, we're going to get calls that we don't deserve, and same thing goes with Texas, but also we're going to get ripped off sometimes. And so same thing is going to go for the Rangers as well. Next up is Wyatt Langford. We need to get out of this inning unscathed. Takes a strike looking high and inside. 0-1 count from Castillo to Langford. 0-1 pitch, low and away with a slider. 1 ball and 1 strike from Castillo to Wyatt Langford. Let's go, Louise. Try dance up. Let's go, baby. Got to get out of this inning. Yeah. Plus, every strike zone is going to be different. We have the box that we can see, on the game or through MLB.com or ESPN.com. But again, that might not be the box where it's at for that particular ump. In play, and Langford grounded out into a fielder's choice into third. Smith out at second. Yes, and we get out of the inning. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. End of the third inning, and we still got a 1-0 lead. I love it. We got incredibly lucky there. Castillo's been a little shaky. Great job getting out of the jam, baby. Next up, DHing in the 5-hole, 0 for 0 with a base on ball, Mitch Garver. Batting second, first baseman 0 for 1, Donovan Solano. Hey, it hasn't been working at the beginning of the year, but it's been getting better in the last few games. He's actually been able to get a couple hits. And batting third in the 7-hole, him and JP really turned this team around, when we needed it the most. And again, bringing up Ben Williamson, we were wondering who's going to be our third baseman of the foreseeable future. And sometimes injuries to certain guys like Jorge Polanco, moving him to DH was a blessing in disguise, because now we have one of the best hitters in baseball in Jorge Polanco, and a guy that we don't even need him to play third anymore because he's got a noodle arm in Polo. Just focus on hitting, and you can be the Edgar Martinez of this generation, Jorge Polanco. And then we have the best third baseman that we've had since we had Eugenio Suarez a couple years ago. Can't wait to be able to see the development. He's got a laser for an arm. He's a great defender, great baseball IQ. He's got a knack for the game, and he's a pretty fucking good hitter. Even at this early stage of his career, Big Ben Williamson, he's already one of my top 3 players on the team as far as being a fan favorite. Love, love, love Big Ben Williamson. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I didn't know if they were going to end up having it available, but I always look, for all the photographers, and I'm always trying to be able to give, updates, with different photos and whatnot. And I was kind of surprised that they actually had one up. And so I was like, yes, we're going to use that. First pitch from Patrick Corbin to Garver in the zone, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, strike swinging low and away, behind in the count 0-2. Season low 3 Ks last night, and we were the number 1 strikeout team for years and years and years. We're only at 15.6, which is second lowest in that graphic that they just showed there on the broadcast. That's crazy. But again, it shows you the difference that, Edgar Martinez and Ichiro have made on this team. Getting Scott Service's ass out of there, Dan Wilson in, and then getting guys to help improve the team. And, to go from being like one of the worst hitting teams to one of the best in 1 year, that's unheard of. That never happens. If you would have told me we would have went from being like the worst hitting team 30 out of 30, and then we ended up being top 5 in like 3 to 5 years, that sounds a little bit more believable. But, even though that would be an incredible feat in itself, but we'll take it. Pitch is low and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Corbin to Garver. Let's go, Mitch. Force a walk. Pitch is inside and fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it takes a strike looking. Got him. Down goes Mitch Garver. Nice job by Patrick Corbin. We'll give him some love. Nice electricity there by Patrick Corbin. 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1, Donovan Solano. And, they haven't taken any photos of Solano really in the Mariner uniform. And that was probably like the only one that I could find that was, decent for the channel. Everything else is with him in a Padre uniform. So even though it has the title, it's not working at the bottom. I figure that's the best one for now until they take more of him. First pitch inside to Solano. Takes a strike swinging, try to jam him at the knees. 0-1 count with that curve, only 70 miles an hour. But hopefully we'll get more, quality photos in the future. In play, and Solano fouled out to third, 2 away. Next up, third baseman, Ben Williamson. First pitch, takes a strike looking with a slider, 0-1 count. Let's go, Big Ben. And obviously had some back spasms a few days ago, which are lingering, and they're tough to be able to battle, but hopefully he'll be able to get back on track. And down goes Big Ben. Not going to be able to get a base knock there. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning, 1-0 Mariners. That was too quick of an at-bat for Big Ben. But I love his defense, and great photo here. Let's see who's up next here for the Rangers with this 1-0 lead. We need some more insurance, baby. Next up for the Rangers, 0 for 1 with a K, coming fresh back from the injury, DHing Corey Seager. Batting second, 0 for 1 first baseman, Jock Peterson. And batting third, 0 for 1, second baseman in the 5-hole, Marcus Semien. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the Mariners. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Rangers. Go, baby. We need that rally. I can't wait to be able to see Brash, baby, even though he might be a little shaky. First opportunity to be able to show what he has. Obviously, he's had some, opportunities in the, farm system, to kind of warm up that arm to see how he looks. But, we've had some issues in the pen. Definitely our weak link. But again, most people's bullpen is their weak link for their team. So. We need to get another home run so I can bust out the trident. Look to see what the other scores that we got going on here. Seager, first pitch in play, single to left. Man, that was quick. Nice base knock there by Corey Seager. Bottom of the 4th with no outs, runner at first. First pitch, slam that into left field. To Randy Arozarena. Next up, first baseman Jock Peterson. Come on, Mariners. Got to win, baby. And if we find a way to win this game, even if it ends up being a little bit lower scoring than what we're typically used to, obviously tomorrow's matchup, I believe, will be Logan Evans on the mound, and it's going to be an early matchup, like very early. So we're going to be playing at 11:30 tomorrow. Technically 11:35 Pacific time, but I'll be live at 11:30. Logan Evans versus Jacob deGrom. But I like the way that Evans played. I have more confidence in him than I do with Emerson Hancock. Down goes Jock Peterson. I like that. Next up is Marcus Semien. And that slow dribbler by Jock ain't going to do it. Semien in play, grounded out to third. Throw to first. Got him. There we go. 2 away. Next up, catcher Jonah Heim. Bottom of the 4th, runner at second with 2 outs. Let's get out of this inning, baby. First pitch, 5 feet off the plate. To Jonah Heim, 1-0 count with the changeup. Come on, Castillo. One-0 pitch. Slider way off the plate again. 2-0 count. Yeah, anytime you end up getting a pitcher that throws straight gas and straight heat, if you don't have your location, things can get really, ornery and really wild really quick, and things can get out of control. We know George Kirby is a location guy like Greg Maddux. Gilbert usually hits the zone, but, for guys that wheel and deal like Castillo and Wu and Miller, when they're on, but when they're off, they're really fucking off. Pitch fouled off, out of the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike from Castillo to Heim. Let's get out of this. Pitch is high and tight inside. Should have been a strike there, called ball. 3 balls and 1 strike from Castillo to Heim. Come on, Luis. Pitch right down the zone, fouled off. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count now is full. Bottom of the 4th, 2 outs, runner at second. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Castillo on the mound, Jonah Heim in the box. Let's go. Smoke them. You got to get out of this inning. Come on, Luis. Got to get out of this 3-2 count. Come on, baby. In play, and he can't get it done. RBI single, and we have a 1-1 tie. Damn it, Luis. Nice base knock. RBI single by Jonah Heim to make it 1-1. Next up, right fielder Adolis Garcia, which you normally don't see him hitting in the 7 hole. Typically a 1-4 hitter. And Garcia in play, flied out to left, and that is the end of the 4th inning, but the damage has been done. All right, Mariners, now there's no time to fuck around. Let's see if we can get a couple hits here, or maybe a lucky home run, and let's start pulling away. Go to the top of the 5th, and we're knotted up at 1. Next up for the Mariners, a guy that's got great baseball IQ, a guy that should be starting, 1-for-1, second baseman Leo Rivas. Batting second, right fielder Samad Taylor. And batting third, back at the top of the order, J.P. Crawford. 1-for-2 with a run and an RBI. He hit the solo dinger on the first pitch of the game, and now we have 1 run and 4 hits for both teams, as well as no errors for both as we go to the top of the 5th. Let's go, Mariners. Let's go, Leo. Castillo's looked a little bit better, this year compared to 2023 and 2024. I mean, I feel like so far, even though he's been a little shaky in this game, he's been a little bit better than expected. Bryce Miller is definitely the worst out of the main guys that we normally have in the rotation, not including, guys like Logan Evans and Emerson Hancock and Luis F. Castillo, like the filler guys. But hopefully we can find a way until we have George Kirby and Logan Gilbert back on the bump. But so far, if you end up being a top 3 pitching team and the worst hitting team and the number 1 strikeout team, and then you turn into a top 3, top 4 hitting team, and your pitching goes down a little bit, and you're scoring runs and getting a lot of base knocks, you're still going to be able to find a way. And Rivas trying to go ahead early, 1 away. Next up is Samad Taylor. First pitch to Samad, takes a strike looking, down and away. 0-1 count from Corbin to Taylor. Come on. I was actually hoping that we would get Ryland back out there from what he did yesterday. But again, you got to be able to find ways to, sprinkle in these individuals that are filler guys, platoon guys. 0-1 pitch. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike from Corbin to Taylor. 1-1 pitch, fouled off with the cutter, tried to jam him at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Corbin to Taylor. Maybe we can get Samad to drop down a bunt. That might be the best way that he can get on base. Come on, Samad. But you don't really have any expectations, for guys like him. And Samad Taylor lined out to left. Hard hit ball, but just couldn't drop. 2 away. Next up, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI. First pitch of the game with a solo dinger, J.P. Crawford. Let's go, baby. Let's go, J.P. First pitch, high and away. 1-0 count with the slider. Come on, J.P. And in play, grounded out to first, and that is the end of the Mariners' chances there in the top of the 5th. Low scoring opportunities so far. Haven't been able to get really into a rhythm, but as starting pitching goes out, then the game will open up out of the bullpens, guaranteed. We'll see who's up next here in the bottom of the 5th for the Rangers. Next up for the Rangers, 1 for 1, third baseman Josh Young. Batting second, 0 for 0 with a base on ball in the 9-hole. Center fielder today, Dustin Harris. And batting third, back at the top of the order, 0 for 2, shortstop, Josh Smith. Let's go, Mariners. Come on, Louise. Find a way. First pitch from Castillo to Josh Young. Takes a strike looking in the zone. Four-seam fastball. 96 miles an hour. 0-1 count. Young in the box. Castillo on the mound. Let's go, baby. In play and grounded out to third. Throw to first. One away. How's it going, brother? Yes, amazing that you bring that up. Look what I was able to find for Ben Williamson's new photo on the channel. There it is. You know, I was looking for it. And luckily, at least we had one good photographer that was able to capture the photo. Great minds think alike, my guy. Nice job by Ben Williamson. Doing big things. Doesn't matter if there's a broken bat. Doesn't matter if there's distractions. You know, he's the best defender that we have in the infield. You know, we can see guys at second and short make some plays from time to time, but man, Ben Williamson is special. Best player we've had at third since Eugenio Suarez. Castillo to Harris. 1 ball and 1 strike from Castillo to Harris. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is outside, low and away, about 10 feet off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike from Castillo to Harris. And you weren't here at the beginning of the broadcast, Reflect, but I ended up meeting up with my best friend and we exchanged some gifts since his birthday and my birthday are a few days apart. And first pitch of the game, JP Crawford goes yard. So I was able to use the trident. Got the nice little Mariner logo on it. So definitely excited for the trident, and it's awesome quality and a bargain and a steal, you know, for being $22. Hell, I would have paid $52 for it. But again, very stoked that we'll be able to use that on stream for obviously home runs on the channel for the Mariners. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's like the sports gods. Like I just met up with my best friend. We went to go shoot hoops at my local park that I grew up playing, you know, outside. And we did that for about an hour, hour and a half. And then we ended up going to Dairy Queen and just having a quick meal and then headed back. And I got prepped for the stream and, you know, have the trident obviously here to the side of me. And first pitch of the game, JP goes yard. It's like the sports gods wanted it. And they didn't want me to wait. You know, they said, we're going to have it happen right away. And hopefully we get a few more runs as this game progresses because pitching has been pretty good, you know, from both sides overall. Obviously, Corbin has been more in the zone than Castillo. But even though Castillo's been a little wild, I mean, he's only given up a run. So, I mean, again, if this was Castillo last year, maybe he's given up 3 or 4 at this point. So, you know, we just need the bats to, you know, start coming alive. 1 out. Next up is Josh Smith. First pitch to Smith. Strike swinging with that slider. 0-1 count. Chris in the building. What's good? It was like the Mariners actually did a post and they did a video of it as well as photos of it. And it's available at the stadium, but only at a particular vendor. So it's not available at every vendor. In play. And popped out to second, throw to first. Ooh, baby, 2 away. I'm not sure if it's available in the Mariners team store. I assume it is, but I'm not sure, you know, how many, you know, are going to be available because I kind of have a feeling once people know that it's available, more and more people will buy it and whatnot. So it's a very unique, cool item. And, you know, who knows, maybe down the road, they'll even make, because I know you can go to like Amazon and there's other people that have made custom ones out of wood and metal, you know, that are as big as a broom. They're like huge, like the ones that you see in the dugout that they have. Obviously the one here is a miniature, but still, you know, big enough for the stream. And, you know, who knows, maybe down the road, I'll get a wood one full size or a metal full size. But for now, I'm very content with this miniature trident to be able to rep on the stream. I mean, I got the, you know, merch and everything. So, you know, do-rag, hat, jacket, jerseys, chain, you know, baubles. Just one more thing to add to the collection. Bottom of the 5th, 1-1. Runner at first with 2 outs. Castillo on the mound. Langford in the box. That one is high and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Castillo to Langford. Yeah, they don't have it as a giveaway, but maybe one day they will. I mean, it'll be a hot item, but it's only $22, at the stadium. So, I mean, again, if it was 32, 42, 52, I still would have bought it. It's just a unique, cool item. And stolen bag by Harris. He goes to second. Yeah, I mean, Mariner fans aren't really that surprised if you've actually seen the progression of the team. Obviously hitting homers, stealing bags, having a new manager and Dan Wilson, having Edgar Martinez and Ichiro help this team, and again, we're finding ways to play big boy ball. We're finding ways to play small ball. We're doing all the extra things that we weren't able to do in previous years. And it also helps that you're not the number one strikeout team and the worst, hitting team in baseball. Now obviously injuries have been tough, but that has led to next man up mentality. And down goes Langford. Nice strike three there for Castillo. But again, sometimes injuries are a blessing. And again, we've had a lot of guys go down, Bliss, Victor Robles, Logan Gilbert, Dylan Moore, Luke Rayleigh. We haven't had George Kirby or Matt Brash all year, but Brash is activated and now in the pen. So it's like we've had the most injuries in MLB besides the Braves, except that, we're the hottest hitting team in baseball. And again, there's a few surprises, not only, really just the Mariners, the Tigers, right? The Giants, you could definitely say that the A's, the Mariners. So it's not the Cubs. So just off the top of my head, those are the 5 teams that are, kind of surprising, but it makes baseball good, when the Cubs are good. It's nice to be able to see the Mariners and the A's instead of being at the middle or the bottom at the top. The Astros and Rangers have already had their moment, and the Angels are obviously the worst. And then with the Tigers, you started to see a little flash out of them last year, especially at the end of the year, a very young team, but a lot of potential. And then obviously the Giants, coming out, like a storm, like a whirlwind. And again, when you get guys like Robbie Ray and he's 6-0 in his first 6 starts and everyone's hitting for that team, and again, at one point the Dodgers were in 3rd place in the division with the Giants and Padres. You kind of knew that it was a kind of a special year, even though it's early. We're only, about 20% in of the season, but again, still a long ways to go. But I like the progression of the teams that are surprising. Let's go to the top of the 6, and we got Corbin and Julio Rodriguez in the box. But if you're a casual watcher of the Mariners, then, it might not make sense. But for a lot of us that are watching every pitch, every game, you've been able to see the progression right in front of your very eyes. So, but obviously, I don't think any Mariner fan, including me and Reflect and anyone else, we didn't expect to be a top 4 hitting team and, being like one of the best teams in baseball, at this point. That definitely is a surprise for the better. But Mariners ranked since April 9th. So in the last month, 15-4, first place. 128 runs, first place. 35 homers, first place. 275 average, first place. OBP 367, first place as Julio grounds out to second, throw to first, 1 away. And OPS 850, first place. So we're first place in 6 categories, since that time period. And again, best record, in that time period as well. What can you say? Uncle Mo is real. And when you end up being down 5-0 to the Astros and you score 7 runs in the last 2 innings and win 7-6, that was a springboard win that we needed. Next up is big dumper Cal Raleigh. Pitches low and at the knees, 1-0 count from Corbin to Raleigh. And obviously we're going to need Patrick Corbin to exit this game for us to start raking. So hopefully we'll get him out shortly. But both pitchers have done a good job. Let's go, big dumper. 246 average, 12 homers, which is leading MLB over guys like Aaron Judge and Eugenio Suarez, as well as Kyle Schwarber. Judge has got 11, and then Eugenio Suarez and Kyle Schwarber have 10. Yeah. See, you weren't sold on Cal Raleigh like I was, but that's okay. Harry Ford was never going to be Cal Raleigh. And again, everyone has a, kind of a sense of things. We both love the stats and the analytics. and whatnot. And you're going to have your favorite players. I'll have my favorite players. But, I could already sense even early on that more than likely Cal was going to be better than Julio. And I'm a big Julio guy. But again, I'm a fan of consistency. So I'm not just going to be a fan of a guy that's a popular name. I need to be able to see results. And if you're not going to put up consistent results, then there's going to be other guys that I might like a little bit more. And Cal Raleigh forces a walk. We'll take that. But, Harry Ford would have never turned into Cal Raleigh. Harry might end up being a decent catcher, but not only is Cal the best catcher in Seattle Mariner history already at this moment, I really do feel if he doesn't have any major injuries, he's going to be a Hall of Famer for our team. And again, we don't have too many of those. We got Griffey and Edgar Martinez. We're going to have Ichiro, and maybe a lot of guys thought it would be Julio, and it's still early in his career. But, if Logan Gilbert can stay healthy and Cal can stay healthy, Andres Munoz can stay healthy, Julio can stay healthy, we're going to have a few guys that will be, in the running for it. But, this isn't Julio's team anymore. Even though he might be one of the more popular players, at some point, it'll be Cal Raleigh's team. And again, if we didn't have Cal, we wouldn't be in this position that we're in right now. His leadership and being able to call games, switch hitter defensively, torpedo bat, homers from the left and the right. He's just more valuable than Julio Rodriguez, period. Yeah. Wild, huh? Yeah. And also he loves, Seattle. His mom loves Seattle. Cal loves Seattle. The family loves Seattle. And again, sometimes it's not about money, and it's about having character guys. And Cal is a character guy for sure. 3 balls and 1 strike from Corbin to Arozarena. Takes a strike looking right there on the line. 3 balls and 2 strikes as they have Corbin trying to jam Arozarena. Top of the 6th, 1-1, runner at first, full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out from Corbin to Arozarena. Yeah, Eugenio Suarez is doing great. Robbie Ray has had a rebirth in his career for the Giants. Teoscar is awesome for the Dodgers. Alan, I 100% agree. And hopefully Cal will be a Mariner for life. Again, that was the most valuable player on the team for quite some time. And, I'm just happy to be able to see him have this success. And, moving forward, he should be the starting catcher, not only in the World Baseball Classic as Arozarena flies out 2 away. But again, if Dan Wilson ends up being the manager of the American League, which I think he will be, and, we could, if Polo doesn't qualify, I don't know if they can have the fans vote him in or the managers or whatnot, but it would be a damn shame if Polo doesn't get into the All-Star game as the DH. But, definitely Cal Raleigh and Andres Munoz are in, and, we'll see if we can get Polo in as well. But if we can have 3 players in the All-Star game and they can play, as well as Dan Wilson as the manager, that would be pretty sweet. Top of the 6th, 2 outs, 1-1. We're knotted up. Runner at first. Next up is Mitch Garver. First pitch with a slider fouled off right down the plate. 0-1 count. In play. And single to left. Cal Raleigh to second. Nice job, Mitch Garver. Crazy to think like Mitch is more consistent lately, it feels like, than Julio. Julio has been streaky, and we've been able to see him get that 2-run jack yesterday. But it's like for every good game Julio has, he has a couple dud games, where he might not get anything, and again, it's like, it's cool to be able to get the home runs. But for me, I would rather have a guy getting, 1 to 3 hits every day, even if that's not a homer, rather than getting like 1 homer, having 4 dud games of nothing, and then having another game where you have a homer or 2. Again, the homers are great, but I just want to be able to see some more consistency with singles and doubles. And, we know he can make plays in the no-fly zone, but the less opportunities that Julio has on base, he can't get those stolen bag numbers up if you're striking out, or if you're popping out, grounding out, and you're overly aggressive in your first, 3 swings. And a lot of times he's out in the first pitch unless he connects, for a home run, which he did that yesterday. Most of his home runs are going to be on first pitch strikes or, first pitch garbage that he ends up pulling for a home run. Top of the 6th, 1-1 tie, 2 outs, runners at first and second. Next up is Donovan Solano. And we know it hasn't been working for Solano, but this is the best Mariner photo that they have of him until he gets more hits. Let's go, Donovan. I'd rather put him up in a Mariner uniform than an old Padre uniform. And it looks like his day is done. All right. So Milner's coming in. Patrick Corbin's day is done. Now we should start to rake, not necessarily with Donovan Solano, but if he were able to, get a walk or even a single, that would be great. Let's see the stat line for Corbin. 5.2 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 2 Ks. Seemed like he had more than 2 Ks. 85 pitches, 53 strikes, 3.28 ERA, and he came into the game with a 2-1 record and a 3.79 ERA. And then we're going to bring in Milner. Milner's got a 1.98 ERA, so we'll see what happens there. And then let's do the flip side. Let's do Luis Castillo. Now, Luis, at this point, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 2 Ks. Almost exactly same stat line as Corbin. 75 pitches, 50 strikes, and then 3.38 ERA. So, again, it felt like Castillo had more, hits and more walks when he was getting a little wild there, but we were able to get out of a couple jams. Otherwise, we'd be down like 3-1 right now or worse. But let's see if Solano can come up with some magic. Terrible in his first 40 at-bats. He only had 4 hits. But in the last 3 to 4 games, he's been able to manufacture at least a hit. So that's, again, for being the worst guy on the team, he got his batting average from .43 to 143, which to a lot of people, yeah, it sucks, but it's a lot better than what it was. He brought it up 100 points. He's 0 for 2 right now, but I think Trent Thornton right now is still our worst player, and maybe Solano is our second worst, but at least Solano has been doing better as of late. And I guess you could say the same thing for Trent Thornton, but the only problem is he gave up like 5 homers in his first, 20 games out of relief in the pen, and that's way too much. So, but he's still there, and I don't know if he can recover, but at least the last couple times we've seen Trent, it hasn't been a disaster, so I guess that's good. All right, Milner in the pipe down to Solano on 1 count with that sweeper. And this is a lefty here by Milner. Milner with the 0-1 pitch, change up 10 feet off the plate, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Hobie Milner to Donovan Solano. Yeah, I definitely get nervous whenever he's in the pen. And down goes Solano, and that is the end of the Mariners in the top of the 6th inning. Can't expect a whole lot, and again, I wouldn't be mad whatsoever if they sent Solano down to AAA and brought Tyler Locklear up, because honestly, I think he's been doing well, obviously in AAA, and we've already seen him. He's kind of like a Ty France clone, but younger. And even Ty France, has had some moments, after we let him go. So, it's cool to be able to see former Mariners do well. But again, when you got certain guys that are struggling, there's guys in the farm, that aren't even the top guys that we're bringing in and that are producing. Like even with Ryland last night in the 9-hole. So, I think that the Mariners should not be afraid to send guys down and to bring other guys up, because, it is kind of one of those things where you're like, oh, I don't know if he's ready. But if the guys that we have on the roster right now aren't playing well, they can't be any worse. You can only go up from there. And I'm hoping that we get Tyler Locklear at first sooner than later. Obviously, you have guys like Rowdy Tellez that can play that position as well. But I would rather have Locklear back up Rowdy at first rather than, going Donovan Solano. But, maybe it's an ownership decision because of the money that they spent. That was the first big signing, for the Mariners in the offseason. So that might have something to do with it being political. But, it wouldn't hurt my feelings if Thornton and Solano went down to AAA, to say the least. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 6th, and let's see what we got up next here for the Mariners. Next up, DHing from the 3-hole, back in the lineup from the injury, Corey Seager. Batting second on deck, first baseman Jock Peterson, and batting third, second baseman Marcus Semien. And we should be able to see Matt Brash today or tomorrow, which is exciting. But again, when you come off Tommy John, he might look like Troy Taylor, where he's just not ready yet. And Troy Taylor had an injury as well, and he got sent down, and now Brash takes his spot. And Again, everyone's, recovery timetable after a serious injury or a minor injury is going to be different. So first pitch from Seager fouled off, 0-1 count. Pitches low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Luis Castillo to Corey Seager as he fouls off that slider. Matt in the building, what's good? Yeah, 100%. But again, if you would have told me that we would have been a top 5 hitting team in 3 to 5 years after this change, I would have been ecstatic. I don't think anyone anticipated us being the worst hitting team to one of the best in 1 year. Kind of wild. 2-2 count in play, four-seam fastball, popped out to the shortstop, throw to first, got him. Let's go. 1 away. Next up is Jock Peterson. 0 for 2 for Jock. First pitch, 2 feet off the plate, fouled off. 0-1 count. Doing good, my guy. Got to meet up with my best friend today. Went to the local park that I grew up at there in the Beaverton area. Shot some hoops for about an hour, hour and a half. Went to Dairy Queen, which I never go to. Ended up having, normally I do chicken strip basket, but I went for one of their burger fry meals. And then we ended up getting butterscotch dilly bars that are like something that I've never seen before. Normally I get like mint, and they have other flavors there as well. But sometimes you got to live on the wild side. And man, it was delicious. It was something that I'll definitely buy again. And, got back, obviously prepped for the stream. We exchanged some gifts for our birthdays, got the Trident. I got a miniature moose, obviously, as well as far as one of the giveaways. I knew the captain's hat. My friend wasn't going to give that up. And, and I knew his dad would want to keep that as well. But the captain's hat was a pretty cool giveaway. I definitely would rock something like that on stream. Maybe one of these days I'll get one on eBay. But it was cool. I got one of the miniature Maurice Mooses here on the desk as well. Got the Trident, which is the thing I'm most excited about for the home runs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out from Castillo to Jock Peterson. So reflect, yeah. So I don't know if the Mariner team store has them available or if they're sold out. But as far as I know, I'm pretty sure in the post that I saw, they're supposed to have it on the team store, I think. And then they have them obviously at the stadium, but maybe the team store sold out already. And I imagine, in the stadiums, they probably go pretty quick. So. Three balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Peterson. But that was kind of like the first cheat meal that I've had in probably 2 months. So, in play. And grounded out to first, Jock Peterson. There we go. 2 away. And I don't really like eating junk food and whatnot, but every once in a while, you got to treat yourself. But I'm going to have to walk extra tonight. Next up, second baseman, Marcus Semien. And Semien in play, lined out to right, and that is the end of the 6th inning. We got a battle going on here. We're knotted up at 1. Not really the same outcome on my birthday yesterday, being up, 13-0 late in the game before Troy Taylor gave up that solo knock, but we can still find a way to win this, especially with starting pitching being out. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2, battling back spasm, but still coming up with gems like this. A great defender, a great hitter, the guy that really changed the way that the Mariners look at themselves, as well as J.P. Crawford and Dylan Moore, as being role players. Third baseman, Ben Williamson. Batting second in the 8-hole, second baseman, great baseball IQ. I want him to drop the bunt down at this at-bat, Leo Rivas. And batting third, 0 for 1, right fielder, another guy that I think that should drop a bunt down, Samad Taylor. Let's go Mariners. Yeah, you said that right. I don't like eating, again, it tastes great, But again, if you have like diabetes in your family, like I do, and a lot of people on the channel, and again, for me, it's like I'm already walking 5 miles a day. So it's like no matter what I eat, I know that I can work it off. And it does taste great when you're eating it. But what I have noticed, if you do cut out, a lot of the sodas and, cut back on certain things and then, fast food, your body kind of rejects it. Like it tastes good, but you don't really feel good after you eat it a lot of times and whatnot, depending on the ingredients that are in there. So, I've tried to limit myself to like one cheat meal a month, and I'm trying to eat healthy the rest of the way. So, and I got not only the Trident, but I ended up digging this out of my collection here. Reflect, you'll appreciate this. This is a 2008 Ichiro McFarlane. Now, I know we have the baubles with Griffey, but the cool thing about this, it comes obviously with the whole base, right? But the cool thing about this, it has a peg in the baseball that you push into the bat, so you can see Ichiro, obviously, with the base knock. The detail on it is great, and we know that Ichiro is going to be the first full Japanese-born player in the Hall of Fame. So I figured that I needed another piece of memorabilia on the desk that we can have, and I just love the little subtle details as we have one away. Next up is Leo Rivas. Big Ben was not able to get on base. Hopefully he'll have one more opportunity in the ninth to get on. Next up is Leo Rivas. But I like those little subtle details, like having the baseball with the peg pushed into the bat so it looks like he's getting a hit. Like McFarlane is a very intelligent guy, and he's always looking for attention to detail. First pitch from Milner to Rivas. Strike looking with the sweeper right down the middle in the pipe, 0-1 count. And I ended up giving him an Ichiro as a gift, Series 1, that comes with removable stunner shades, sunglasses that you can put on the figure or take off. And I like stuff like that, the stuff that you normally don't see in a toy or an action figure, like those extra things. And it definitely takes that figure, from being cool to like really cool when you have those items. But I absolutely love it. In play on the 0-1 pitch from Milner to Rivas, and Rivas doubled the right. Go, go, go. Good speed by Rivas. And again, Rivas, to me, like Dylan Moore, have earned the right to be everyday players. Leo is too good not to be playing every day. And again, Dylan Moore is injured right now, so he can't participate, but we need to see Leo playing every day, period. Next up, right fielder Samad Taylor. Like, you should have Leo and JP playing together every day. And obviously we got Big Ben at third. Really the only question mark is, okay, who do you want at first? Do you want Rowdy Tellez? You want Donovan Solano? You want Luke Raley? Or maybe call up a guy like Tyler Locklear to give us someone could be a little bit better. I mean, Rowdy right now is probably our best, but top of the seventh with one out, runner at second, and this feels like the inning where we're going to score. And again, he might not be the most popular name, but you and me know it's all about stats and analytics, and he's reliable, just like Dylan Moore, just like JP Crawford. We know that Polo and Cal have been doing the best, but for a team, you need others to step up. And if we didn't have JP and Ben Williamson, Dylan Moore, Leo Rivas, step up as well, we wouldn't be in the position where we're at today. 100% facts. 1-0 pitch from Milner to Taylor. Takes a strike looking on the line. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. If this is me right here, I'm Samad Taylor. I drop a bunt down first base like he did yesterday or the day before. In play. And there we go. Lined out to right. Thought that might have a chance to drop, but it doesn't. 2 away. Next up, back at the top of the order, first pitch, goes yard, J.P. Crawford, 1 for 3 with a run and an RBI. Let's see if J.P. can get an RBI here to give us a 2-1 lead. Captain in the building, what's good? Go Mariners. Captain, I got it, baby. Let's go, JP. I mean, the photos of it were cool. The videos of it were cool. But to actually have it here at my house, it's incredible. Top of the 7th, 1-1. We're knotted up. Runner at second with 2 outs. And looks like they're going to make another pitching change. They're going to come in and bring in Garcia to face JP. And if you can see, it's got the Mariner logo there in the middle. Pretty good size, good quality. A little bit better than me doing this after we get the home run. But I'll take it, baby. Top of the 7th. We're knotted up at 1. Let's see if JP can be the hero today. And that's kind of another thing, too, about the Mariners. You know, in years past, we would only have like one guy out of 9 that was hot. And then, you know, it was like, oh, hopefully we get a couple others. But, you know, with this run that the Mariners have been on, being the number 1 hitting team in almost every category for a month, you know, it's been a collective effort. And even the lower name guys and even the farm guys and even the guys that don't play every day have been stepping up as well. So it definitely is contagious when you feel those good vibes and when Uncle Mo, you know, is there, you know, and he's not leaving. But the Mariners MLB ranks since April 9th for about a month now. We're 15-4, 789 win percentage. That's number 1 in MLB, not in the American League overall. 128 runs, number 1 in MLB. 35 home runs, number 1 in MLB. 275 average as a team, number 1 in MLB. 367 OBP, number 1 in MLB. 850 OPS, number 1 in MLB. That's 6 categories being number 1. Pretty wild. We're only about 20% in of the season, but it definitely feels like we can get to 88 to 90 wins and get first place if we can stay somewhat, you know, I want to say, you know, injury free, but again, we're the number 1 injured team in baseball. Our record shouldn't be this good. You know, us and the Atlanta Braves have the most injuries player for player, but, you know, 2 teams are kind of going in different directions. And down goes JP. That's unfortunate. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and let's see who's up next for the Rangers. But I love seeing us be able to hit the peaks and the valleys, you know, hitting-wise. Obviously, pitching could be a little bit better, but again, we had a 1-hitter yesterday. It's a 1-1 game here. And again, if this was Castillo from last year, maybe the score's 4-1 Texas. So I like what I'm seeing overall. Next up for the Rangers, 1 for 2 with an RBI, catcher Jonah Heim. Batting second, 0 for 2, right fielder on deck, Adolis Garcia. You typically don't see him in the 7-hole. And batting third, 1 for 2, third baseman Josh Young. Let's go Mariners. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. And we're at 20 on the dono train, 80 to go to hit the goal. And if someone can keep track of those things for me, that would be great. We're at 28, so it looks like we only need 2 more likes to get to 30. So if you are in the room and have been just grinding out and watching the stream, do your boy a solid. 2 more to hit 30. They're doing the God Bless America now, 7th inning stretch. Oh, baby. And making his 2025 debut, you know who it is. One of our best guys in the pen, but he's coming off Tommy John. Welcome back, Matt Brash. Fuck yeah. Let's go. And again, he might be shaky. I hope he doesn't just fuck up the game for us here. But again, you know, he's had some pretty good outings on the farm system. So hopefully he can get it done, and I'm definitely excited that we get Brash back. Obviously, we're still waiting for Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Ryan Bliss, and Victor Robles, Dylan Moore, and Luke Rayleigh, just to name a few. But to be able to get a guy finally back that hasn't played at all this year, is recovering for the Tommy John, and this will be exciting to see, and hopefully he's lights out, or at least doesn't fuck up the game for us here. Let's go. Bottom of the 7th, we're knotted up at 1. Let's go, baby. super excited. Matt Brash, baby. And tomorrow's matchup is going to be very early, 11:30 a.m. Pacific. Logan Evans on the mound, and I will be doing the game. And I really enjoyed what Logan was able to bring in his first MLB start. He's going to go against Jacob deGrom, but he's not really the same pitcher as he was years ago. I like our chances tomorrow, and I like our chances of winning this game here today. First pitch from Brash, fouled off with the knuckle curve, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, 5 feet off the plate, fouled off. Behind in the count, 0-2. Let's go, Brash, my boy. We haven't seen him since 2023. 3.06 ERA. My favorite guy in the pen, obviously, besides Gabe Spire, and obviously I'm not including our closer, Andres Munoz. But obviously those are the three. Brash, Gabe Spire, Andres Munoz. And obviously we had potential with guys like Troy Taylor and Gregory Santos and a few others, but it just hasn't worked out. But I'm really happy Brash is back. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Brash to Heim. Let's go, Brash. Man, we've needed your presence there. And then they have Gabe in the pen, which will be pitching in the 8th. And then if we have a lead, then we'll have Munoz in the 9th. That's sexy. Brash, Gabe Spire, Munoz in play. And a single to center by Jonah Heim. Not exactly what you want to see, but at least it wasn't a home run like Trent Thornton. All right, next up is Adolis Garcia. We need a double play right here. A grounder to second base for a double play. First pitch inside with the sinker. High and tight, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, fouled off with the four-seam fastball, high and tight in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the 7th. 1-1 game, runner at first. Matt Brash making his 2025 debut with having Tommy John. And if you're just entering the stream, top of the first pitch of the game, J.P. Crawford homer to right, 369 feet, tridents up, 1-0 Mariners. Then in the bottom of the 4th, Jonah Heim singled to right, Seager scored, and we have a 1-1 tie. And that's exactly where we're at right now. Knuckle curve, low and away by Brash. And that is 2 balls and 1 strike to Adolis Garcia. And you typically don't see Adolis in the 7 hole. So we'll see how this goes. A little bit of a demotion, trying to, teach him a lesson. But again, he's been struggling a little bit. Pitches outside, low and away, about 10 feet off the plate. 3 balls and 1 strike from Brash to Garcia. 3-1 pitch, fouled off. In the zone, now count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes, no outs. Runner at first, bottom of the 7th. We're knotted up at 1. We need a double play here. Let's get that DP. We need that double play, baby. Let's go. And got him swinging. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Brash with his first punch out in 2025. Let's go. My boy. Let's keep it going, baby. See ya. Next up, third baseman Josh Young. Can we get the double play on Young? Slow dribbler right up the gut, right? Leo Rivas taps the bag, throws it to first. We get out of the inning. Or it could be JP, either one. First pitch from Brash to Young. High and away with the slider, 1-0 count. Woo, Brash is nasty. Agreed. And we don't really need to get that much higher in payroll. For me, I would love us to be just in the top, 8 or the top 10. And I don't know if that will ever happen, just depending on, we have, but also too, we have the number one farm system, in MLB. So it's like, we don't really need, to pay for players. I mean, how well has that really worked out? Like, obviously with Garver and Polanco last year, it didn't, but this year it has. But, with Solano and Miles Mastroboni, I would say Solano has been kind of a failure, but at least Mastroboni's played well, but again, they may not be worth the money that we paid them, especially Solano, but, again, at least our farm guys and the new guys are stepping up. Injuries are a blessing in disguise. And, even though our pitching may not be where we want it, but the hitting has, made it where it doesn't matter. We're able to outscore almost everyone. 1-0 pitch. Tries to jam the hitter high and tight inside at the head. 2-0 count from Brash to Young. Yeah, and again, Brash is not only, I feel, one of the best Mariner pen guys, I feel he's one of the better pen guys overall. Like, it's hard to find guys that are reliable in the pen. And when you can go with Brash, Gabe Spire, and Munoz, show me 3 guys that are better than those 3 when they're on, and you can't. Those guys are lights out. Brash is a righty. Gabe is a lefty. Munoz is a righty. So you go the righty, lefty, righty kind of concept. Very hard to beat. Now, every once in a while, Brash and, Gabe Spire and Munoz will fuck up and, blow a save or give up a home run. But they are the most trustworthy guys when they're healthy. And, for a guy to have Tommy John, I'm not seeing any signs of Tommy John out of Brash. He's looking nice. 2-0 pitch, fouled off. In play, and Young grounded out into the double play, baby. Woo! You just got to call it, baby. And there's the double play that I was calling for, and we get it. Thank you, Josh Young. There we go. Let's go to the top of the 8th inning and win this fucking game. We haven't had a game 1-1 this late in a long time. Time for our stars to step up. Next up, 0 for 3. Hey, you hit a 2-run jack yesterday. You want to be a hero today? Trident's up. We can be twins. I can throw it up on screen. Julio Rodriguez. Batting second with a solo dinger yesterday and a grand salami. Started off his day with a double. 1 for 2 and a walk and a K. Come on, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And batting third, 1 for 3, left fielder, a guy that's overdue for a Trident, Randy Arozarena. Let's go Mariners. We got this, baby. Sometimes you just got to talk it into existence. And if you understand baseball and you understand what you need, there's a lot of nuances to the game that make this game great. You just have to understand, kind of strategy and what to be able to do. But I love bunting, double plays. Obviously you don't see triple plays that often. That's a rarity, but just doing all of those extra things to be able to manufacture wins. We haven't really dropped a bunt down yet. Not expecting Julio obviously to do that, but, or Cal or really Randy, but hopefully we can find a way, and we don't even have to necessarily win by, a homer, Trident's up. We can just get hit, or, walk, hit by pitch. You just got to be able to get on base and then, obviously get your runner in scoring position sooner than later. But I still like our chances here today. Let's go, baby. Top of the 8th, 1-1, Mariners and Rangers. Brash looked nice. Let's go, Julio. I don't know how many photos you need to be a hero, but I'll put up 2. I'll put up 3. Hey, Trident's up. I'll put up 4. Let's go. Megan in the building. How are you? Top of the 8th, 1-1, Mariners and Rangers. We need this dub. And again, we're having an early game tomorrow. The rubber match will be Logan Evans versus Jacob deGrom, and it'll be 11:35 first pitch Pacific time, and I'll be live at 11:30 a.m. about 5 minutes before to go over the lineups and the thumb and everything else. High fives for everyone and big hugs for JP and Brash. Love that. First pitch from Garcia to Julio. 1-0 count. Wow. Surprised that Julio didn't swing there. 1-0 pitch. about a foot off the plate. 2-0 count. And normally we're 0-2 count right there. 2-0 pitch. Fouled off with the slider. 2 balls and 1 strike from Garcia to Julio. Let's go, Julio. Come on, baby. Let's go, J-Rod. 2-1 count from Garcia to Julio. In play. And Julio flies out to center. 1 away. Next up, 1 for 2 with a base on ball and a K. Had a double early on. Has had to bat from the right-hand side pretty much the whole matchup. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. Let's be a hero. Let's go, Cal. And Raleigh singled the left. There we go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. One guy you can rely on. Another guy, not so much, but hopefully you'll be able to get going. Nice job. Next up, Randy Arozarena. Let's go, Randy. I'm ready for your RBI. You're due for a homer, but, let's get you an RBI, baby. 1 for 3. First pitch to Randy Arozarena. High and away. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour by Garcia. 1-0 count. Top of the 8th. We're tied up at 1. Runner at first with 1 out. Let's go, Randy. Hey, let's be a fucking hero today. What do you say? Takes a strike looking. 1 ball and 1 strike from Garcia to Randy. I know exactly what we need. Pitch fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. You know what time it is. It's moose time, baby. It doesn't matter if we're down or if we're tied. There's just always going to be a certain time where we need that good luck charm. Let's go. I even got a moose from the game from my friend here. A little miniature. Comes with a little magnet, and you've seen some social media posts where you can put the magnet on and you can actually put it on your clothes or on your jersey. Pretty cool. But we always talk about the Mariner Moose. In play. And Randy singles to left. Raleigh to second. Let's go. Hey, I got one here too, baby. Fresh from one of the giveaways. Even got the Moose with the 0-0. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Mariner Moose never fails us. Next up is Mitch Garver. And guess what? Mitch Garver, he might be more reliable than Julio at this point. I believe Mitch can get a RBI single here. Let's go. Mariner Moose is out. We're feeling good. I got the Trident. Let's go, baby. He might end up doing something like this. It's been a minute, but I don't even need him to hit a home run, but wouldn't that be special? Top of the 8th, runners at first and second with 1 out. Next up, Mitch Garver. Let's go. As bad as Garver and Polo were last year, I am so happy that it's worked out for them this year. Polo's literally the best hitter in baseball right now besides Aaron Judge, which is mind-boggling. And Garver, started off a little slow, in the beginning of the season like JP, but have been, decently reliable as of late. So they're going to think about bringing in Chris Martin or Jacob Webb in the pen. Little mound visit there. First pitch, strike looking with the changeup on the line. Questionable. 0-1 count. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Top of the 8th, and the Mariners are tied at 1-1. Garcia on the mound. Mitch Garver in the box. Let's go, Mitch. Let's do it against your former team, baby. Come on, Garv. RBI single. 2-1 Mariners. Let's do it. Hell, I believe, and again, there's only going to be certain guys, it's like I believe on, certain guys, but again, sometimes even if you believe, it hasn't happened every time. And Garver grounds out, brutal, and that is it. end of the top of the 8th, and we're going to have to wait till the 9th inning. I was hoping Garv would pull some magic out, but again, he's a guy that typically only gets 1 hit a game, and sometimes, you know, he'll have 2 hit games, but not often, and unfortunately, we're not able to get that second hit here today. He already had 1, so... Oh, but we got 1 hit for JP. Julio's 0 for 4. That's a problem. Cal 2 for 3. Randy 2 for 4. Garver 1 for 3. Solano 0 for 3. Ben 0 for 3. Back spasms, but hopefully he'll be able to get something. Rivas 2 for 3. And Samad Taylor 0 for 2. And obviously, if you don't have a hit, or, you know, we haven't been dropping the butt down, and this would have been a good game to drop at least 1 or 2, and we haven't done it yet, but maybe we will in the 9th. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And let's see. I don't know if Brash will be coming back out again. I doubt it. They'll probably bring in Gabe Spire. He was in the pen. Next up, 0 for 0 with 2 base on balls, center fielder Dustin Harris. Back at the top of the order, 0 for 3, shortstop Josh Smith. And batting third, 1 for 3 and a K, left fielder Wyatt Langford. Let's go Mariners. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We only need, 1 more like to be able to hit, 30? And we're at 20 on the dono train, 80 to go. All right, Gabe Spire coming in. Nice job by Matt Brash. Fantastic. Didn't fuck up the game. Great to see ya. All right, Mariner Moose, you know what to do. And Gabe has been a little shaky in his last couple outings, you know, not as bad as like Trent Thornton, but, you know, has given up a couple hits and a big home run lately, but hopefully today he'll be clean. Yeah, but again, we can still win the series. We already won yesterday 13-1, so, I mean, it really comes down if we're trying to sweep. And I feel confident with Logan Evans tomorrow, even if we're going against DeGrom. So, remember, we did sweep this team 3 games, you know, in Seattle, and then we won 13-1 yesterday. This is the lowest scoring affair that we've had in the first, 4 games up to this point, so... We won 5-3, 9-2, 3-1 in the 3rd game, the rubber match in Seattle, and then 13-1 yesterday. But I feel confident that we can win this in the 9th, and if it goes extras, I feel confident we can win in extras. Let's go, Gabe. Holy shit, hard hit, and Randy is there, thank God, 1 away. That was scary. Next up is Josh Smith, first pitch outside, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Yeah, we're playing great defense. 0-1 pitch, tries to jam the hitter inside, behind in the count now 0-2 for Josh Smith. Nice job, Gabe, keep it going. Bottom of the 8th, nobody on, 1 out. And an 0-2 count from Gabe Spire to Josh Smith. Smoke his ass, let's go. In play. And grounded out to second, throw to first. Got him, 2 away. Next up, Wyatt Langford. 1 for 3 and a K for the Ranger left fielder. Let's get Wyatt out. Wyatt is crafty. You definitely have to make sure you're careful when you pitch to him. Not necessarily going to be a guy that's going to homer all the time, but kind of like an Alex Bregman, where, kind of like a Thorn, where every once in a while, if he, finds that right pitch, he can pull the baseball pretty well. Not as good of a player as Bregman, but a guy that is definitely a sneaky hitter. First pitch inside, 1-0 count. From Spire to Langford. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike swinging, 1 ball and 1 strike from Spire to Langford. 1-1 pitch, inside, tries to jam the hitter at the hips. 2 balls and 1 strike from Spire to Langford. Come on, Gabe. Pitches low and away. 3 balls and 1 strike from Spire to Langford. Come on, Gabe. You Pat McAfee look-alike. Let's get it, baby. We got Carlos Vargas and Legomina in the pen. Bottom of the 8th, nobody on. 2 outs, knotted up. 3 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs from Spire to Langford. Come on, Gabe. Obviously, Gabe and Cal trying to get on the same page. Clemens was absolutely phenomenal. You know, Red Sox, Blue Jays for that short period of time, Yankees. And he walks him. Fuck, Gabe. Nice job by Wyatt Langford there. Next up, fresh back from the injury, DHing Corey Seager. 1 for 3 with a run and a K. Let's get the force out at second. Let's go. First pitch inside, 1-0 count with the sinker from Spire to Seager. 1-0 pitch, 5 feet off the plate, low and away, 2-0 count. Come on, Gabe. Gabe has not looked the greatest in the last 3 outings for the Mariners. He's been definitely a little shaky. You know, was lights out for the first 5 or 6 opportunities, but definitely a little shaky in the last 2 or 3. Yeah, I mean, this is the first time that we've had a game with this kind of score in a long time, especially when we've been able to score runs at will. But, you know, every once in a while, you have a good pitching duel. And, again, you know, our 1 run was the first pitch of the game from JP going yard. So we need more. And Gabe, there we go, baby. We get out of the inning, end of the 8th. Let's win this game. Let's go to the top of the 9th. Let's see who is up for the Mariners. Hey, it might not be working overall, but we need it to be working now. 0 for 3. Can you make it 1 for 4, Donovan? Please, God. Donovan Solano. Batting second, a defensive stud. He's got a laser of an arm, but he's got good baseball IQ. But those back spasms have been lingering. 0 for 3 with a K. Come on, Big Ben. Is it your time? Ben Williamson. Get a single. And batting third, 2 for 3, the guy that can actually win the game for us, Leo Rivas. So it's like, even if Donovan doesn't get on, best case scenario, really, you get walked, you get a single, and we got guys at first and second, and then Rivas gets the RBI, and then the game's over. You know, that would be best case scenario, but we'll see if that happens. Just trying to talk it into existence. All right, we got Martin coming in, relieving Garcia. And obviously, I know the Rangers will have the bottom of the 9th to tie if we do take a 2-1 or 3-1 lead. But let's see if we can get something out of Solano, Williamson, and Rivas. And it's crazy to think, I mean, this was the most reliable player for, a week and a half or 2 weeks. But lately, Leo Rivas, he's been as reliable as pretty much anybody on the roster. And he should be an everyday player, just like Dylan Moore. But again, you have so many players that can only play so many positions. Too bad Dylan Moore can't play first base, because then that would solidify, that spot that is a weakness for us. We already know who our catcher is. We already know who the pitchers are, and obviously with Robles being out in right field, that is definitely an issue. And you got Randy in left and Julio obviously in center. Ben is our third baseman, right? You got JP at short. You can have Leo at second. It's just too bad Dylan can't play first, because that would be ideal. And we have Jorge Polanco coming in for Donovan Solano, finally. There we go. Good decision. But I would have liked to seen Jorge get 2 at-bats. Like one in the 7th for Solano and one in the 9th. But not to say that this guy can't just step up and be a hero. Let's go Mariners. So we'll go Polo, Big Ben, Leo Rivas. That sounds a little sexier. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Polo. You know what to do. Bring that electricity, baby. Come on, baby. First pitch outside. 1-0 count with the cutter. 1-0 pitch. Down the pipe. Fouled off. 1 ball and 1 strike from Martin to Polo. Come on, Polo. Top of the 9th. We're knotted up at 1. Pitching duel, low-scoring affair. And hopefully we can find a way to win this. 1-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike from Martin to Polo. It's crazy to think that we have our own Aaron Judge in Seattle. And a lot of times if you say that, you would think that would be Julio Rodriguez, but it ends up being Jorge Polanco. And after that, Cal Raleigh. In play. Here we go. Here we go. Yes. Go, go, go. And a double to right. And again, there's a reason why Polo should have gotten 2 at-bats. 1 in the 7th after Donovan Solano went 0 for 2. But hell, we'll take it. Nice job by Polo. You are the man. Slugging percentage first. OPS second. WRC seconds. Barrel rate 10th. You're the fucking man, Polo. Let's win this game. Next up, Ben Williamson. And again, if you're going to fumble the bag, Polo will take advantage. Great base running by Polo to get into scoring position after they fumbled the bag in the outfield. Hell yeah. Adalis Garcia. Wah, wah. We'll take it. Let's go, Big Ben. Fucking Polo is him. Adalis Garcia. They sent you down to the 7 hole for a reason. He normally is the cleanup hitter. I've never seen him this low in the order, but again, once you end up having that happen, some guys will adjust and other guys, it will be detrimental. Top of the 9th, runner at second, Polo with a double, no outs. Martin on the mound, Big Ben Williamson in the box. Pitch is low and at the knees, 1 ball and 1 strike from Martin to Big Ben. That Polo mojo. Just like that Soto mojo in the late 90s and the early 2000s, baby. Nice job, Polo. Let's go, Big Ben. Ben shows bunt as the pitcher falls down. Bunted foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes by Big Ben. I mean, and I wish that we would have bunted earlier in the game. I mean, we have a couple guys that can do it. Ideally, Samad Taylor in the 9 hole would have been great. Or even a Leo Rivas earlier in the game, but, Paisley's in here now. He wants to hang out with Daddy and join the action. 1-2 pitch, splitter, fouled off, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And there's a reason why guys don't square up for the bunt anymore, because guys get hit in the nuts pretty frequently in that approach. So you don't really see people squaring up anymore. There's a famous clip of Luke Raley on the Rays before he came over to the Mariners, where he would kind of do that approach, and he doesn't really do that anymore. There's definitely many ways to drop bunts down, but you don't see it often. Pitch, 4-seam fastball, foul back again. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Martin to Big Ben Williamson. Top of the 9th, Polo at second, no outs. Come on, Ben. RBI single, let's go. Polo's at 395 batting average, and he's been at 350 to 450 pretty much the whole year. In play, and grounded out to second. Polo to third. Nice sack there. We'll take that. Nice job. Next up, Rowdy Tellez hitting for Rivas. Why? Why? You don't have Rowdy come in for fucking Leo. Anybody not have him come in for Samad Taylor, not for Leo. Unbelievable. We'll see if this works. And next up is Rowdy Tellez. I don't know if I would do that for Leo. Leo is reliable. First pitch fouled off. 0-1 count from Martin to Tellez. I mean, I hope we find a way to knock him in here, but I would have felt a little bit more confident with Leo at bat than Rowdy. Pitches outside, takes a strike looking, behind now in the count 0-2. And typically Tellez does better when he's not pinch hitting, when he's like starting, and it gives him 4 or 5 at-bats to find his rhythm. I don't know if you're going to get a base knock or, if he can get hit by a pitch, maybe that's the best way to go about it and not get hurt. But, he does have home run power. We know that. But, traditionally speaking, it's harder for him to be able to get a base knock. He's not Polo, where he can just sit for 3 hours and all of a sudden make a big play. Not traditionally. Can he do it? Yes, but I think I would have felt a little bit more comfortable with Rivas. Pitches low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Martin to Tellez. Polo at third, top of the 9th, 1 out. I mean, even if we win this game 2-1, I don't care. A win is a win. And we're trying to win our, 8th straight series? And then go in and play the Athletics in Sacramento. That would be 9. And then Blue Jays at home for 10. In play. There it is. Rowdy does it. Woo! Didn't know if he would do it, but he did it. Nice job, Rowdy. Every time, there's a question about, oh no, a guy that already has 2 or 3 hits in Leo, and then you bring in a guy that may not be as a reliable hitter. It just seems like, I don't know if his dad is incredibly lucky, but again, he's a ballsy motherfucker. And again, it's worked out in his favor almost every single time this year. Or having Mitch Garver pinch hit for Polo when he's got 3 hits. Like, no, what are you doing? And then Mitch Garver gets an RBI, right? So I'll take it. Not usually something that Rowdy does, but was able to come up. Thank you, Dan. It worked out. You're a lucky son of a bitch. Next up, Miles Mastroboni. But I mean, we got to be the luckiest team in baseball. I mean, plain and simple. Wow. Well, again, I definitely could have seen that go the other way. First strike looking for Miles Mastroboni. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Splitter. Low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Martin to Mastroboni. Nice job by Rowdy with that RBI. 2-1 Mariners. We're going to win this, baby. Reflect with a 3-er. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. We're at 23:77 to go. And I think in that situation, if Rowdy had that situation 10 times, maybe he gets a hit 3 times out of 10. But that was one of the 3, and we'll take it. Nice job. 1-1 pitch, fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Martin to Mastroboni. Fouled off, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Martin to Miles Mastroboni. Let's go, M's. Let's get some more insurance, baby. We're so clutch this year. It's just incredible. I mean, especially for guys that are sitting on the bench for, 2 hours and 30 minutes, and Polo and Rowdy end up being heroes. That shows you the depth of this team, the confidence of this team. And maybe Polo and Rowdy should have started this game instead of coming in late. But either way, we're getting results, and that's what we want as fans. Splitter fouled off. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes from Martin to Mastroboni. Let's go M's, baby. All of those meetings with Edgar Martinez, Ichiro, they're working in play. And a fielder's choice, runner out. Tellez out at second, 2 away. Next up is J.P. Crawford. Hell, give Edgar Martinez and everyone else on that staff a fucking raise. To go from the worst hitting team and the number 1 strikeout team to like the best hitting team in baseball. Crazy. First pitch in the zone, low, strike looking, 0-1 count from Martin to JP. Come on, JP. You hit a home run, right, earlier in the matchup. Can you do it again? It was first pitch of the game, and then we were able to do this. I would love to do it again. Let's go. Pitches low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Martin to JP. Solo home run in the first. And JP, 290 average, 3 homers, 17 ribbies, mostly in the 9-hole, but brought up to the leadoff position, you know, with injuries to Victor Robles. And obviously, JP is a better leadoff hitter than Julio, you know. And again, I like what we've, and JP started off really slow this year. 1-1 pitch fouled off with the cutter, 90 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Martin to JP, but JP was forcing walks, you know, occasionally would get hit by a pitch, you know, was able to steal some bags, and then eventually his rhythm started to click in the box, and then he's been a monster for the last couple weeks. Like last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I mean, it's been crazy. And I'm happy because JP is a guy that definitely could have, you know, had his ego bruised so badly from being the leadoff guy the last 3-4 years and then getting dropped to the 9-hole. It's kind of a demotion, right? And you can get your ego bruised a little bit. But again, it probably was bruised, but he's got, you know, good fan support, good player support, coach support, and he's really turned his season around. Thankfully for us, too. Pitches outside, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Martin to JP. Come on, JP. I would assume Munoz will be coming in, but again, they did have Legumina and Vargas in the pen, so maybe not. I mean, I guess it really depends on if they want to use them today or use them tomorrow. But, I mean, if we want to win this series, you might as well have Munoz come out today and then use Vargas or Legumina tomorrow if needed, you know. And the nice thing about Brash, fucking A, Brash can pitch in the 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th, you know, once, you know, he's healthy if we need him to fill in. Not to say that they will, but he's got the ability he can. That's fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Martin to JP. You know, obviously, if we didn't get that RBI by Rowdy, then no, you know, Munoz wouldn't have come in with a tie. But with a lead, you would assume that, yeah, that'll be a good chance for him to come in. Fouled off again. 3 straight foul balls, 2 low and away, 1 high and inside. And JP is fucking battling. 7 pitches in, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at first. And let's see if we can add on 1 more run. I feel confident we can win 2-1, you know, but again, 3-1 makes it a little sexier. Let's go. Pitch outside by 10 feet. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Martin to Crawford. Let's go, baby. Come on, JP. Four-seam fastball, fouled off. 9th pitch. Count still full. Come on, baby. Let's go, JP. Top of the 9th. Runner at first. 2 outs. 2-1 Mariners lead. Rowdy Tellez and Jorge Polanco, heroes today, as well as JP Crawford. JP working a 9-pitch count. Let's see if he can get on base with a walk. You don't even need to swing. About half of the pitches have been in the zone. The other half have not. Let's get an RBI. Let's get a single. Let's get hit by a pitch and not get injured. Let's take a walk. We will take any scenario. Top of the 9th. Runner at first. 2 outs. 2-1. Mariner lead. Polo got on. Rowdy with an RBI single. 2-1 lead, and we're ready to win this series and maybe go for a sweep tomorrow. JP in play and grounded out to first, and that is it. No more insurance, but I'll tell you what. You know, when you have a guy like Rowdy Tellez, you know, who's not the most reliable hitter, and then you got a guy that's got 2 or 3 hits already, you know, normally this is the guy that you want. But again, Dan Wilson has this thing where, you know, even with Jorge Polanco with 2 or 3 hits, you know, brings in Mitch Garver, and you're saying no. And then Mitch Garver gets an RBI single, and then you end up winning the game. And then you're like, yeah, same thing today. Leo Rivas playing great. And then they're going to have Rowdy Tellez pinch hit? No. But then it worked out. So I don't think I've ever seen a coach, manager, you know, be so ballsy when you actually have a guy that could get the hit and win that's hot. And then, I mean, again, it's one thing if a guy is 0 for 3, Polo, and then you bring in Garver, fine. But when the guy's like 3 for 3, like, why would you do that? But maybe Dan Wilson and Edgar Martinez know something that I don't, and I know sometimes they do pinch hitting based on the pitcher, if he's a lefty or a righty, so they make that decision. So I know that's part of it. But for every weird decision that Dan Wilson makes, he hasn't really been burnt by it, and thankfully for us fans, that's the way that it's going. Trident's up. All right, let's see who's up next here. Last chance for the Rangers. Next up, 0 for 3, first baseman Jock Peterson. And we have Andres Munoz coming in, so you know we're going to win. Let's go. Batting second baseman Marcus Semien, and batting third, catcher Jonah Heim. Let's go Mariners. And thankfully for Rowdy Tellez to get that RBI, the Moose is happy, and we get to bring in the best closer in baseball, Andres Munoz. JP is a hero. Polo is a hero. Rowdy is a hero. The Moose is a hero. But this is going to finish it off right here. Let's go, Andres. Consecutive scoreless appearances. 15 to start the season. In team history, he's only one back. Gabe had 15 in 2023. First pitch, high and away. 1-0 count from Munoz to Peterson. 1-0 pitch, 10 feet off the plate. 2-0 count from Munoz to Peterson. And this is usually the bad Munoz when you start off with 2 balls like that. Let's get it settled in. Dial it in. Relax, my guy. Pitch outside, 3-0 count. Come on, Andres. We need the good Munoz, not the bad, wild Munoz. 15 games, a 0.00 ERA in 15 innings, 19 punch-outs to 6 walks. And I don't want another one of them here, but you're already at a 3-0 count. Come on, Munoz. Takes a strike looking, finally getting a strike on his 4th pitch. 3 balls and 1 strike. Come on, Munoz. I mean, when's the last time you've seen a guy with 15 appearances and an ERA of 0? I mean, it's not like we're playing in the 5th game of the season. This is our 32nd game. We're like 20% into the season. Ridiculous. In play. And grounded out to first. Got him! Let's go! Let's go! And again, you know, Munoz has this thing too where, you know, he can look like shit in those first few pitches, and it's like, oh God, this is bad. And then he finds a way to get out of it. Nice job. 1 away. Next up, Marcus Semien. 0 for 3. Let's make it 0 for 4. But not only do you need your closer to throw 100, you have to have location. Anyone can throw heat, but you got to be able to have the location as well. And again, we already know that sometimes Andres can be wild, 2 feet off the plate, 5 feet off the plate, 10 feet off the plate. And then that ends up being a Cal Raleigh saving type of issue. And Cal has saved a lot of pitchers, from big, downward spirals, so to speak. Let's go, Munoz. Let's get it, baby. Well, nice mound visit here. But this is the best team the Mariners have had since the 2001 Mariners in Ichiro's rookie year. First pitch takes a strike swinging, 0-1 count. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. Let's get it. 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Munoz to Semien. Let's go, baby. 1-1 pitch, Low and at the knees with the slider. 2 balls and 1 strike from Munoz to Semien. We definitely need to dance. 2-1 pitch. Sinker inside at the hips. Fouled off. Tried to jam him there. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. Mariners with a 2-1 lead. And we're about to hopefully win the series. And we're going to go for the sweep tomorrow. Come on, Munoz. 2-2 pitch, fouled off. 2-2 pitch. 4-seam fastball. Low and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Munoz to Semien. Come on, Andres. Let's go, baby. And he fucking walked him. Damn it. All right, time for a double play to end the game. Hit it right there to JP. Throw to first. Game over. Next up, 2 for 3 with an RBI. Catcher Jonah Heim. Munoz on the mound. Jonah Heim in the box. JP Crawford with a first pitch homer to start off the matchup. And obviously back-to-back hits there from Polo and Rowdy Tellez with the RBI to give us the 2-1 lead late. And now we just have to find a way to win this here. Did that hit Semien? No, almost did though. In play. Grounded out to the pitcher. Semien to second. 2 away. I didn't get my double play, but at least we got 1 more. All right, here we go. Last batter, 0 for 3 with a K. Runner at second with 2 outs. 2-1 lead. Munoz on the mound. Adolis Garcia in the box. Let's go, Mariners. Nice flip there and good decision there by Munoz, not trying to go for the double. First pitch, low and away. 1-0 count from Munoz to Garcia. Let's go, Mariners. 1 more, baby. Let's go. Come on, baby. Bottom of the 9th. 2 outs. 1-0 pitch. Strike looking with that 4-seam fastball. Pretty. 98 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Munoz to Garcia. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. We want this. Bottom of the 9th. Runner at second. 2 outs. Munoz on the mound. 1-1 pitch. Fouled off. Tried to jam him inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're 1 strike away from a victory, baby. Let's go. I mean, sometimes you got to find ways to grind it out, right? This wasn't necessarily the prettiest game, from our hitters, especially winning 13-1. We were, 1 hitter from Wu. Pitch is fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Munoz to Garcia. But a 1 hitter from Wu. And we were at 13-0 until the 9th inning before Troy Taylor gave up that solo jack. But, 13-1, it's a pretty solid outing. Bottom of the 9th, runner at second, 2 outs, 2-1 Mariners, 1 ball and 2 strikes from Munoz to Garcia. 1 more strike and let's end this. Pitch, high and tight inside, fouled off. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes ahead of the count. Let's go. Trident's up. Let's go, baby. It's what the Mariners do when we win. If you actually are a fan of the Mariners, you would know that. Come on, baby. Bottom of the 9th. Runner at second. Munoz. Let's go, baby. Struck out swinging. Woo! Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Oh, and we win another series. Let's fucking go. 8th consecutive series win, baby. Who's hotter than the Mariners? Nobody. Final score, Seattle Mariners 2, Texas Rangers 1. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariners win. 8th consecutive series, and we're going for the sweep tomorrow with Logan Evans on the mound. Fuck yeah. Unbelievable. We're finding ways to win small ball. We can score a lot of runs, and we can also win games late where Polo and Rowdy Tellez didn't even play into the end of the game. And again, they both come in and pinch hit and end up winning the game for us. And obviously, first pitch of the game led to a J.P. Crawford solo dinger. Nothing since that point, and it was 1-1 for the longest time. And Dan Wilson and Edgar Martinez strike again. Leo Rivas could have been the hero. They say, no, we're going to end up putting in Rowdy Tellez. And again, you never know with this team. But one thing I do know is we have the clutch factor on lock. Nice job by Rowdy. Nice job by Andres Munoz. I see you. Nice job by Polo. And way to get it started at the beginning of the game. First pitch home run by J.P. Crawford. Everything is looking Tridents up. Let's go, baby. $2 holla. Appreciate you. Anything you want to see photo-wise? I got to go take Paisley on a walk, a victory walk, which will be nice. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. It's a great day to be a Mariner fan. Let me tell you, baby. Let's go. Love the Trident, baby. We're going to be using that a lot. Hell yeah. And then again, we got Logan Evans on the bump tomorrow in his second MLB start going against Jacob deGrom. But we're not afraid. Jacob isn't the same as he used to be. Will it be tough? Of course, it's going to be tough. But I'm very excited to be able to see what Logan Evans can bring. And what an exciting time to be a Seattle Mariner fan. The best team that we've had since the 2001 Ichiro rookie year. And again, Ichiro and Edgar Martinez, you know, they're doing their thing. We know Ichiro was a great hitter in his time, and bringing over those little tidbits of knowledge to help this team hit. And God bless Edgar Martinez and Ichiro, Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, and everyone that's been involved with this team in the 2025 season. The input is working, and it kind of helps when you have the best closer in the game, right? One of the best hitters in the game, and Jorge Polanco. Him and Aaron Judge are killing it. You got the number one hitter in home runs in Cal Raleigh. I mean, what else would you want? I mean, obviously you would want none of our players to be hurt, but we wouldn't be where we're at if we didn't have the Ryan Bliss, Victor Robles, you know, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Matt Brash, Dylan Moore, Luke Raley situation, because we were able to bring up Ben Williamson and a few others, and it's good for those guys to get experience when other guys are hurt, and then we'll figure out if the young guys are better than the old guys. And once we find out that right blend, we're going to be dangerous. Hell, we already are. Go Mariners. Anything that you want to be able to see before you go? Go Mariners, baby. All right, I got you. Andres Munoz is an all-star this year, baby. So is Cal Raleigh. Hopefully Polo, with an exception. Obviously, with those at-bats, Dan Wilson will be the manager of the American League in the 2025 All-Star Game. Book it.
Oh, my gosh.
8 straight series wins. Is that good? And crazy, like Julio hasn't even really been playing good. And we're doing this with him like kind of on on a low end, performance for Julio. So just imagine when Julio gets hot, then that's just going to be extra fuel to the fire. Luis Castillo looking like the Luis Castillo from 2022, not the 2023-2024 Luis Castillo, which was dipping in his progression with his stats and analytics. And again, thank God, because Gilbert's injured, Kirby's injured. We only have him and Wu. Bryce Miller has probably been the worst out of the main starters. And Hancock was terrible in the beginning, but it has been getting better. And Logan Evans obviously was great in his first start. So, a blend of guys that were normally third, fourth, or fifth. Obviously Gilbert as the one and Kirby as the two normally, but we have no access to those guys. And it shows you the depth that we have with this team. Pretty amazing. Also helps that we have the number one farm system as well. Let's go. Well, that's the hero right there. Same thing with Rowdy Tellez. Yeah, his ERA in 16 games is 0.00. I mean, when's the last time you've seen anybody that good? It's ridiculous. But as we look at batting averages right now, again, they still could be improved. But JP Crawford, 287, awesome. Julio, 209, terrible, but he will get it up to 280 to 290 at some point. Maybe even 300, hopefully, right? In the summer months when the warmer weather is better. Cal bringing his batting average from 180 to 200 to all the way up to 252. And he's got the most homers in the big leagues with 12. I'll take that. Randy Arozarena, 221. Garver, 235. Solano was at .40. Now he's at 140. So still terrible, but 100 points higher. Polo, 395. And he's been hovering around 350 to 450 all year. He's really been the difference for us. Ben Williamson, 254, even though he was at 3 for a good chunk of the time that he has been brought up. But back spasms have brought him down a little bit. Leo Rivas batting 382. Make him a regular player, baby. Rowdy Tellez, 206. Samad Taylor in limited action, 125. And Miles Masterboni down to 231. So, again, not everyone is perfect, but we have enough to get the job done. Incredible, huh? Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Final score, Seattle Mariners 2, Texas Rangers 1. 8th straight consecutive series win, and we're going for the sweep tomorrow with Logan Evans on the mound. It'll be early, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. I will be live. First pitch will be at 11:35, so it'll give me 5 minutes to do the starting lineups, and hopefully we'll get some home runs tomorrow, which I believe we will. And again, we win in many ways. We dominate from the very start and win 13-1 yesterday. We have to grind out a win with limited hits and home runs and win 2-1. But again, a win is a win, no matter how you win. Trident's up. Man, it feels good, baby. It feels good. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. You guys have a great rest of your Saturday night, and I will be live tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. Logan Evans versus Jacob deGrom for the last game in the set. And then obviously Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll be live in Sacramento going against the Athletics, who are actually a good team this year. And then Thursday, a day off. I still may do a stream. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we come back home and we play the Toronto Blue Jays. Hope everyone enjoyed the stream. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Trident's up, and I'm out. Go Mariners.